What are you doing well? In the middle of the story, a cold and powerless girl blocked her lips. Yunwoo could only stare at the face that had suddenly enlarged several times. What's the situation now? She's hungry, but she doesn't want to eat him in the moment that she didn't notice. Two black figures had gone behind her. If she didn't feel them carefully, she couldn't feel them at all. Cold lips touch each other, but they splash hot sparks. Finally, Yunwoo felt that it was difficult to breathe. His head was hot, and his consciousness was fuzzy. He pushed away the evil face and paralyzed in a moment. You, Cloud Dance weak stare Dragon Ching, evil one eye. You didn't say anything for a long time. Dragon Ching, evil circle Cloud Dance. Thin lips floating charm hazy smile. I really like your shame state. Finally, Yunwoo regained his strength and stayed in someone's arms. The star's eyes flashed a strange color. Well, Dragon Ching evil pain call. Let go of Cloud Dance, own next body. Cloud Dance lips cape yang. Cold glanced at the dragon to pour evil one eye. Your apology, I accept. Dragon Ching Xie's forehead vaguely appeared a few green tendons. He raised his eyes and looked at the cold and proud figure. There was a trace of helplessness at the bottom of his eyes. He was about to get up to chase him, but he bent down again in pain. This small thing. Under such a heavy hand, Yunwoo searched all the way and finally found the location of the cave kitchen. She hasn't eaten anything since this morning. It's afternoon now. Her stomach is empty and her chest is close to her back. The kitchen is in a corner of the cave. It's very remote. It seems that no one will pass by. There are only 3 cooks in the kitchen, and no one else will guard it. Cloud Dance, some red lips a hook, a flash into the kitchen. When the 3 cooks saw Yunwoo, they were surprised. Just as Yunwoo wanted to daze them, they had a clear look. If you want to eat something, just take it and leave. Don't make it difficult for us to do it. Cloud Dance looks at this kind cook, extremely speechless. Why is that human relationship since she was told to take it at will? If not, it would be a slap in the face. With the speed of wind and cloud, she put the food into a burden, completely ignoring the dull appearance of the 3 cooks who lost their chins. What Yunwoo thinks is that Chi Yis and Nanganji didn't eat either, so they brought some for them. What the 3 cooks think is, just the 2 of you, can you eat so much? But she doesn't know. Nangong Yi and Chi Yis are eating delicacies in the inn now, who is still eating the prisoner's meal in this desolate cave. Long Qingxia looks at a series of actions of Yunwoo, and his eyes pass by helplessly. Of course, he knows what Yunwoo thinks, so he has no choice but to think that this little thing is not smart now. All right. Cloud Dance mouth slightly raised satisfaction smile. Each item of burden, throw in the shoulder of the moment. The face suddenly changed, instantly hold red up. How so heavy all of a sudden? The 3 cooks were petrified. That was everyone's ration for tonight. Shishi's taken away. What do they do? Cloud Dance looks at the 3 people's petrified expression and frowns slightly. He doesn't know why, so he turns around and goes to the dragon, thrusts the burden into his arms. Take it. Dragon Ching, evil, sword, eyebrow, slightly wrinkled, carrying heavy burden. Very want to kindly remind her. Wait, when 2 people want to leave, 3 people finally recover in the petrified state, quickly stop them. As soon as they stopped, Yunwoo looked back at them with a slight frown. Without waiting for her to ask something, she heard a few faltering footsteps outside the kitchen. Suddenly, the 2 figures swept away and had hidden into a dark grid. Bang! The kitchen door was kicked open, whining and fanning. Then came a strong breath of wine, followed by 2 men who helped each other. You 3, give me a table of wine and vegetables, and bring me some good wine. One of them, drunk, said vaguely. Second master, the meal is not ready tonight. You wait for a while. I'll make it for you now. What? Big brother said hot food is not allowed? What time is it? One of the chubby men wrinkled his forehead, then looked at the empty table, and his confused eyes were sober. Hot food is not allowed in this cave, so the cooks do it in advance. Now it's only 1 hour away from night. If it's still cold, it's really late. Yunwoo heard that her eyes changed. No wonder the things in the burden were not hot. At first, she thought it was the rest of the last meal, but then again, There must be something strange about why everyone here is not allowed to eat hot food and ponder. This? The cook was embarrassed and didn't know how to answer. Second master, the food is here. Suddenly, Yunwu came out of the dark grid. The man, who was called the second master, looked at Yunwu with sharp eyes. There was no confusion after drinking. How could you be there? After touching his eyes, Yunwu was slightly surprised. He thought that the chubby man was a bully, but he didn't expect that he was so powerful and had such sharp and fierce eyes. This really surprised Yunwu. Waiting for you? Cloud Dance's lips hook out a strange smile. As soon as the man's face changed, he finally noticed a trace of danger. Just 1 second before he wanted to move, his body suddenly froze and couldn't move anymore. Behind him is the dragon. Second master, please come with us. Cloud Dance smile of the plum blossom, cold but dangerous. Good cooperation, or you this belly meat, dogs love to eat. After that, a silver dagger was sent to him. Cloud Dance took the dagger, raised eyes to see a dragon deport evil. Hang eyes a smile, this black heart guy. Let's go. Yunwu pokes the dagger into his stomach, but the man's face suddenly changes, and his body suddenly retreats. Looking at the man beside him, he has fallen to the ground and died. His eyes are angry, so he can only follow Yunwu. As he left, Yunwu glanced at the 3 cooks behind him. You 3 had better be honest. As long as you move your strength, you will be poisoned and killed. At that time, the great Luo Immortal will not be able to save you. At the same time, they cast a grateful look at the Cloud Dance. Yunwu left empty-handed now. She thought that Longqingxi was carrying the burden, but she didn't know that Longqingxi had left the burden in the dark. Under the man's leadership, they soon came to the big brother's residence, which was an extremely ordinary but hidden room. Yunwu looks at the door of the room, and his eyes are a little heavy. He takes the man to another room, but the man's face suddenly changes when Yunwu opens the door. Although it was just a moment, Cloud Dance and Dragon Xie saw it all. After entering the room, I thought there was something good in it, but it was empty. There was nothing in it, only 4 smooth walls. Is there something strange around the wall? Otherwise, what happened to the sudden change of the man just now? After knowing that there is something strange in this room, Yunwu doesn't rush to explore it. He shelves it first so that he won't be too busy to make a fuss. Yunwu threw the man to the ground, then half squatted beside him, playing with the cold dagger in his hand, sneering. Where is this? I don't know. The man disdained to hum, turned to look away, but the bottom of his eyes was fierce light. Bloodthirsty scarlet is dancing in the clouds. The next second, a cold dagger rubbed down, directly cut the man's fingers. Blood homeopathy and flow. Now you know. The man's eyes were waiting, his blood was scarlet, and his body was shaking slightly, but he couldn't say a word. Yunwu has already ordered his dumb cave. The man covered his fingers in pain, blood gushing constantly, and soon a pool of blood vortex. You still don't seem to realize it. Yunwu sneers and raises his lips. The dagger swings down again. The man instantly rolled a circle on the ground, which escaped a disaster. He kept nodding to Yunwu, who accepted the dagger with satisfaction. This man's strength is in the middle of Wuzuan. If it wasn't for Longqingxi's unique acupoint tapping technique, it would not be easy to make him move, but not use his strength. Yunwu came to the man and made a shush gesture towards him with a dagger. The man clearly nodded desperately. Cloud Dance Vermilion Perfect Hookup. Help him point to open the acupoints. Answer my question. If I can be satisfied, you can rest. Wake up after nothing. Well, you ask, I'll tell you all. The man looked at Yunwu. His forehead was full of sweat. His lips were shaking, but the ferocity in his eyes didn't escape Yunwu's eyes. Cloud Dance sneer, completely as did not see, and so on his ferocious threat to her. She had already left. What is this place? Cloud Dance repeated the question again. The man suddenly dropped his eyes and did not speak. He seemed to be thinking about something. After a long time, he replied, This is the secret base of the Thunder Gate, and also the only base of the Beast Gate. Cloud Dance clearly nodded. The secret base of the Beast Gate should be an interesting place. What are you crazy about? Yunwu asked the second question again. What she was most curious about was the use of those people. The man smelled speech. Face schwa ran a change. Round gulu but sharp eyes half squint staring at Yunwu. Probably did not expect Yunwu actually know that a few people. That's the biggest secret of the base. If you tell it, he will die. I don't know. I just accept these people and give them to my elder brother. I don't know anything else. Cloud Dance looked at him. Sneer. Want to cheat her under her eyes? Is it possible? There seems to be some noise in the next room. It's better to throw him out. Anyway, our people have already sneaked in. The dragon tilted evil to glance at a crack in the door and said lazily. This word's a. The man's face is instantly pale. You can't do that. It's impossible. How can your people get in here? Cloud Dance heard dragon's evil words. Eyes smile. Sarcastic raised the corner of his mouth. We can all come in. What do you think is impossible? Give you one last chance. What are those people for? Even if his fingers were dripping with blood, his face was not as pale as it was now. The guard work outside the base is within his scope. If he doesn't guard it well, he can't get away with it. If the base is being destroyed and any secrets are lost, the elder brother will know that he leaked the secrets of the base when he sees what he is like, and he will not be able to survive or die at that time. In that case, it's better to die now. The man pondered for a long time, but Yunwu didn't worry. After waiting for a long time, he finally let go. Okay, I'll tell you, but you have to promise me a condition, and try to let elder brother know that you came in from the east. Cloud Dance's tiny frown. Ponder a moment to nod. I promise you. She glanced at the direction of the east, a trace of fine, unswept by the fundus of her eyes. It turned out that there was an exit in the east. Those people are used to catalyze warcraft. The man sighed a little and spoke in a cold voice. His chubby body was lying on the ground, a bit arbitrary. What warcraft? What kind of warcraft needs people to catalyze? Ancient warcraft, the man said calmly. The only ancient warcraft of thousands of years ago. The cloud dances and hears the speech. The eye ground is startled and surging. The warcraft of thousands of years ago? Isn't the ancient warcraft completely destroyed? How can it be here? Not only Cloud Dance, but also Dragon's eyes darkened. Although he thought that those people must be used to nourish something, he did not expect that they would be used to nourish ancient warcraft. The ancient warcraft thousands of years ago, what kind of species is that? Where is warcraft? The cloud dances the eye ground sun cool way. It's underground if you can go on. The man closed his eyes slightly. His eyes were tight. It seemed to be painful, but in fact it was impacting the acupoints of Dragon's evil point. Cloud Dance's tiny pursed lips caped cold on a hook. Look at that person, indifferent way. Still save some strength. Tell me to enter the underground passage. You are liberated. Because of her words, the man's body suddenly shocked, and his eyes were full of surprise. I don't know about that. Big brother never let me meddle in my business. The man finally gave up and slowly opened his eyes. It seemed that there was a trace of helplessness in the depth of his fierce eyes. Cloud Dance knows that he is not lying and looks back at Long Qingxia. Long Qingxia, who has been standing guard at the door, receives her eyes and nods slightly to her. Well, with a dull hum, the man fainted. Yunwu folded his hand, got up, and went to the dragon. He glanced out of the door and said, "Is it still in there?" Dragon Qingxia shakes his head. Evil spirit a smile. Has not been. Cloud Dance Mao light is dim. Can't help but white in one eye. The people of the Beast Gate are actually nourishing the ancient warcraft with human blood. What's the purpose of doing this? Since we need human blood with their style of conduct, we can't just grasp it at will. Why do we need to hold the strength trials so vigorously? What is the purpose of this strength trial? Clouds and Willow eyebrows locked. The clouds and fog of the reason is not clear thoughts, the head of a question into a paste. Long Qingxia looked at her tangled appearance, with a smile on the corner of his mouth, knocked on her head, and couldn't bear to remind her. Did you find that all of them have one thing in common? Yunwu felt a slight pain in his head. His thoughts spread, his eyes suddenly shrank, and he suddenly realized, you mean? Dragon Qing, evil mouth, slightly yawned. Enchanting Chaoyun Dance blinked. Or my woman smart a little bit through. Cloud dance disdains of curl to curl a mouth. This is praising her or praising oneself. I know you're a blackheart. You can't have missed it. Yunwoo sighed a little. He really knew that she was watching the movement in the challenge arena somewhere, but he knew that she must have a reason not to appear, so he didn't expose her. Some people, some words, sometimes do not have to deliberately say. Even a look, a smile, he can know what you are thinking. And this man is the one who knows her best. Do you want to see it? The sword eyebrow of Dragon Qing Xie is slightly wrinkled. It is said that the clouds are light and the wind is light, but the breath around is dangerous. Cloud dance, slightly jaw-head, go. She believes that if you can really see the ancient warcraft, you will know something that you may not know in your life, such as the existence of the Beast Gate. Although she knew that this trip must be very dangerous, there was always a belief driving her to go. Those who stand in your way will die. For your husband and for you. Longqing, evil thin lips, slightly young, dangerous and provocative. Just after they left the room, the sound of their steady and powerful walking came over, and they quickly found a dark place to hide. As soon as possible, extract the water element power from those 10 people. Warcraft has appeared thirsty. Yes, but those people are not strong enough to wake up Warcraft. I know that. I'll keep an eye on it and find more people. Then Yunwoo and Longqingxi saw a man walk into the next room of the room. Yunwoo looks back at Longqingxi, and Longqingxi nods. The man should be the elder brother in the mouth of the second master. Although he can't see the man's face clearly, he can clearly feel the man's coldness. And the strength of that person is above her and Dragon. See that person close the door. Longqing Xie removed the space boundary. Eyes dim, looking at the room with a smile. Follow him. You should be able to find Warcraft. Cloud Dance looks at the person who leaves. The fundus of an eye spreads fine on to pass. In order to avoid being found, they followed the man into space, through the long and rugged cave, and finally reached a spacious place. Just came here. Cloud Dance will smell a strong smell of blood. How can there be so much blood here? Yunwoo looks at the spacious cave curiously and explores. When she has a large number of complete caves, the color of her eyes suddenly rises. It's not so much a stone cave as a blood pool. There is only one stone bridge that can pass through the opposite side in the space of more than 10 meters. On both sides of the stone bridge are 2 huge pools, which are full of numbing blood. In the light of the crystal bright night pearl in the cave, those blood waves, full of transparent evil light. Suddenly, a black figure came quietly and appeared in the cave. Cloud Dance, slightly surprised, did not feel any breath, so it appeared. But how to look at this figure a little familiar with it. How's it going? Extremely cold voice, flat without any ups and downs, but with pressure that cannot be ignored. Back to the Deputy Lord, it's already started. Cloud Dance frowns slightly. Vice Lord? Shangwan's father Shangwan calendar? He came to inquire about the progress in person. It must be very important for the Beast Gate. If it can be destroyed, the Cloud dances around the corner of the lip, evoking a satanic, bloodthirsty smile. Have you heard from the young master? Shang Guanli turned his back to the man. He had no face on his back. He couldn't see his look at the moment, but he heard a trace of cruelty and childlike innocence in his words. Not yet. Keep looking, no matter dead or alive. Bring it back to me. When Yunwoo heard Shang Guanli's words, he drew his lips. He was a cruel old fox, and he gave his son such a heavy hand. I wonder if Shangguan's mother gave birth to him. Just after Hongxing came out of the wall, it's time for the 2 of you outside to show up after listening so long. Shangguanli turns around and looks at Yunwoo's position. His eyes are fierce and full of anger. Cloud Dance, Tiny Zheng. Afterward, gather Mao to walk out. Smile away. Old man, long time no see. How can you still not die? Lin Yu came out behind her. Shangguanli glanced at Yunwoo and Lan Yu, and the unfathomable undercurrent flowed under his eyes. Bang! Blood pool, blood spatter. Just a moment, then restored calm, only to see the person who just stood beside Shangguanli has disappeared. Yunwoo knows that he is angry for the man's dereliction of duty. She glances at the blood pool and doesn't see a corpse floating up. A sharp edge on the bottom of her eyes has turned into blood. What are these two pools of blood? But this time she clearly smelled the smell of blood. That smell is animal blood. Before her body came back to life, she relied on animal blood and herbal medicine to maintain it every day. She would never forget the taste of blood in her life. When I thought of the scene of drinking animal blood at the beginning, when I smelled such a clear and strong smell of animal blood, the strong, repulsive stomach acid suddenly hit me. It's hard to look back. Where is Shangguan? Shangguanli's serious eyes narrowed into a seam and looked at the cloud dance with a sense of oppression. Where is Mr. Ling? Why did you ask me? He's not a kid. He needs me to follow his S all day. Cloud dance cold humme, disdain of raised the corner of the mouth. Shangguanli smell speech, tiny narrow eyes in a wipe-out meaning. In the twinkling of an eye again to restore plane. Everyone is looking for your body, but you are alive. You shouldn't be alive. My life is my own decision by Cloud Dance. Should I live? Do you has the final say? The Cloud dances to sneer. Come here. Your life can only be decided by me. At the moment when the cold and cruel voice came, a sharp palm wind came. Cloud Dance is surprised, a roll to avoid a blow. The palm wind hit into the blood pool, instantly aroused 1,000 waves. The blood pool was as if it had been blown open by a bomb, raising a strong wave, more than 3 meters high. Once again, the waves came, and again, the remnants of blood filled the purple robe, which made her frown slightly. The next second, a drop of blood happened to fall on her forehead, flowing around, and finally formed a lotus shape, a blood-red lotus baptized by blood, which was in full bloom. This scene, Yunwu naturally did not see, but Shangguanli saw it. Lanyu also saw it. Shangguanli looked at the blood lotus in front of her forehead, and her calm eyes showed a cold ferocity. She has the mark of the demons? Isn't she a witch saint? How can you have the mark of the demon descendants at the same time? If she's really a demon, it's dangerous to wake up the ancient warcraft. She can't be broken. This woman must not live. All of a sudden, Shangguan Li's whole body's strength condenses and directly attacks Yunwu. Yunwu frowns, dodges, and doubts. Why is he so serious all of a sudden? She just wanted to hold him back, but she didn't want to fight him. What's more, is the power of the Vice Lord of the Beast Gate comparable to her the next second? The dark and gloomy power suddenly hit, and the Cloud Dance instantly drew up the Fire Dragon's resistance. In an instant, the Fire Dragon was destroyed without a trace. The Cloud dances. The eye ground passes a touch of surprise. How terrible power! Just as Yunwu watched the dark air coming towards her, another dark force came out of her body. Two forces of the same dark collided and sparkled. Cloud Dance micro-frown. Is black proud? If you don't jump down, you're dead. Suddenly, there was a roar of black pride in his body. The voice was feeble, as if he had been impacted by something. Cloud Dance, no, just that fight. Is Black AO defeated? If not life-threatening time, Black AO will not move. I met Shangguanli twice, and Hayo helped me. It seems that Shangguanli is a role she can't play now. Cloud Dance heard the words of Hayo, and didn't think about the scene that the man fell into the blood pool just now and turned into blood water. It took Lanyu back into space because it believed in Hayo and jumped down without hesitation. At the moment of jumping down, Shangguanli's face was dull, extremely angry, and finally ferocious. Yunwu sneaks into the blood pool and looks at the blurred figure set off by the blood on the bank. The red lips are slightly raised. What a big chameleon! At the same second when Yunwu mistakenly thought that the blood in the blood pool had no effect on her, a strange attraction strongly dragged her down, which made her dizzy. Cloud Dance fuzzy open eyes, look down, want to see what it is, suction so big, but let her half a day back to God. It was actually the rot tan in her body. After the rot tan pierced her belly, it went directly into the endless blood pool underground and kept shrinking, so she was forced to keep falling. But why does she always feel a strong pull? Yunwu always feels strange about the suction. It seems that the vine just appears because of the suction. Looking at the appearance of the vine, she can't wait to get under the blood pool. Cloud Dance's eyes were cold and choked. Thinking that there was just that person's blood in the blood pool, he didn't dare to open his mouth for fear that he would drink a belly of blood. A quarter of an hour later, the Cloud Dance finally can't hold up. She stared at her eyes, struggling, as if to say, "Air. I need air." It's a pity that she is in the middle of the world now. It can be said that she doesn't work every day. The sight in front of her suddenly became a little dark. The hands holding her nose slowly dropped down. At the last moment of her consciousness, the corners of her mouth moved slightly and said something. "Long Qingxia, why haven't you come back from death?" In the blood pool, a white shadow passed by. He picked up the Cloud Dancing waist and disappeared under the endless blood pool. The dark surroundings were extremely quiet, and there was no other light except a touch of scarlet reflected by the blood pool above my head. Dragon tilts evil to sit on the ground, looking at the person's son in the bosom to fret for a while. Thin lip, evilous eye a hook. Cloud Dance slightly frown of open eyes. One eye saw the scarlet object above the head. The eye ground instantly solidified, then sit up in amazement. Long Qingxia Chima smile. "This little thing is really cute." Cloud Dance just found that she was sitting on the thigh of Long Qingxia. Her cheek couldn't help getting hot. Just wanted to get up, but was dragged back by Long Qingxia. "Little thing, I haven't eaten for my husband all night. Isn't it very pitiful?" Yunwu lowered her head, blushed, and could cook the duck. She could not breathe because she felt something under her, but she has already scolded thousands of times in her heart. And the guy who can pretend to be a calm and elegant gentleman is actually a shameless wolf with a big tail. Do you want to make it up? The dragon leans to the clouds and sees the flush of her cheek. "Ah, there's something unusual." The Cloud dances to lift the MOU to drink suddenly, immediately jumped up, vigilantly looking at all around. Long Qingxia's eyes flitted past, but the smile of his lips was bigger. What an uninteresting woman. Just a moment later, the smile on the corner of the dragon's evil mouth was dangerous. "Someone." Cloud danced low and deep toward the dragon, inclined heresy. Long Qingxia nodded and took a look around. This is a round stone cave. In addition to the blood pool above, it is surrounded by smooth stone walls with no exit. The blood pool above was also separated by the border. When he came down to pass the border, he was stunned by the huge spiritual power. When he woke up, he tried to break the border but found that he could do nothing. The power of the border made him feel a trace of oppression that he could not break away from. So he's looking forward to people coming, or they can go out, or they're safe for the time being. Is this the underground of the secret base? Cloud Dance looks back at the dragon's evil way. Yes, I just wanted to explore the base for a week and found it really interesting. There is a trace of danger in the dragon's evil eyes. Interesting? Cloud Dance tiny pick eyebrow. How interesting? This should be the source of all the external forces of the Beast Gate. The dragon is enchanted with a smile. When Yunwu heard about it, she was surprised. The Beast Gate is so powerful that she must have a lot of good things. The source of those good things is in this secret base, which makes her wonder. If so, there are all kinds of pills, weapons, and secret scripts here, right? Maybe there's something rare? Cloud Dance lips slightly hook, showing a smile of calculation. Go out first? When she had a goal in her heart, she could do everything. Red light suddenly appeared, and a similar fire Kirin appeared. Just as Yunwu was about to break through the wall, he was interrupted by a sound. And the man? Cloud Dance, I light a cold, is Shangwan calendar. However, she is more sure of one thing. This hole is not a passageway to enter the underground. Who made this hole? According to Shangwanli, he didn't seem to know the existence of the cave. Deputy Lord, who are you talking about? Have you never seen a woman come? Shangwanli's voice is very cold. He looks very angry. No Shangwanli smell speech. No head is not easy to detect micro wrinkle. Then said, go down. Looking at the figure that left, he sank his eyes. Did it melt into the blood pool? If so, she is not a demon, but the blood lotus on her forehead proves that she is indeed a demon, and the blood in the blood pool only has no effect on the demon. In any case, we must find out this matter. In the cave, Cloud Dance also fell into meditation. Master. Just then, a cold voice interrupted her thoughts. Yunwu frowned slightly. Looking back, it turned out to be Lan Yu. He could not help frowning. When did he learn to run out of space? What's the matter? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow way. After all, she knows that if it's not a big deal, Lan Yu won't run out by herself. What happened to the bloody lotus on your forehead? Lan Yu frowned slightly. The bloody lotus can kill her. Cloud Dance droops the Mao light smile. Lightly opens the lip cape. Is not the mark of the demon clan descendant. Lan Yu is one Zheng, master. Are you really? No. Cloud Dance a smile, denied her answer. Lan Yu's always steady face changed a few times, and finally he could only say helplessly, Master, the demons have disappeared for thousands of years, and there is no descendant. The bloody lotus may kill you at any time. You must be careful. Yunwu smiles a little. The demon family has not been destroyed. At least the devil is still alive. Thinking of the devil, she can't help wondering where the devil has gone. Don't worry. She grinned her head slightly. Knowing that Lan Yu is worried about her, and taking Lan Yu back into space, she glanced at the dragon. Can it be because of the evil bite? That means that you have controlled the magic bite well. More directly, the magic bite has recognized your new master. Dragon Qingxia's golden eyes drooped slightly, and the look of magic bite's eyes deepened. The power of Mojaya is the most terrifying, destructive power of the demons. Small things can only use 1/3 of the power to control Mojaya now. If the power of Mojaya awakens again, can she still control it? It seems that I've heard that if you can't control Mojaya, once its power appears, it can destroy the whole mainland of China. How can I feel that it doesn't have such great power? Yunwu's eyes are slightly narrowed. There are vague doubts in the eyes, but the bottom of the eye is a clear sneer. This man always keep everything from her. How could she easily believe that she really controlled Moya? People are gone. Go out first. Longqing, evil thin lips micro-hook, seems to have a trace of helplessness. It's not easy to hide this little thing from her. I want to ask you a question. Where is the devil? Cloud Dance looks at Dragon to pour evil. The expression of eye ground is complex. Did he fight with devil? Why did the devil bite her? Long Qingxia's golden eyes narrowed and looked at the Cloud Dance. After a long time, they sighed. If you guess correctly, it should be in the Gate of Beasts. Cloud Dance Mao color is dark heavy. Don't continue to ask what. Some things she already understood. The Beast Gate wants the evil bite on him to be out of control and be used by them. It must be for the evil bite to capture the evil heaven now. Maybe the evil heaven knew that the Beast Gate would not let him go anyway. So in order not to let the evil bite out of control and let the Beast Gate not get the power, he forced the force to her. Cloud Dance heart scold a few your uncle. Have you asked me this client wanna? The anger in the heart rises and the power is out of control. Long Qingxia looks at the cave destroyed by the Cloud Dance, and then looks at the burning fire on her body, emitting the dark atmosphere, and shakes her head helplessly. At the moment they walked out of the cave broken by Yunwu was strangely matched again. Looking at the fully restored stone wall, Yunwu was slightly surprised. No wonder Xing Guanli and others didn't find the cave. It turns out that even if it was broken, it could be restored. It's weird. After walking out of the cave, they glanced around. There were only a few oil lamps on the dark side, full of dark and gloomy treachery. Suddenly, 2 figures passed in front of them, and they quickly hid. There is only one stone wall between 4 people. Just as the 2 people passed by Yunwu, the fundus of Yunwu's eyes swept by a strange look, and the golden eyes of Dragon Qingxia were also dangerous. It's the smell of human blood. 2 people look at each other. At the same time, tacit understanding of the nod, followed behind the 2 people. Cloud Dance follows 2 people. The eye ground is cold deep. If you guess correctly, this should be the blood of the 10 people who were brought back. They are both in bodies and have water elements at the same time. Is that what it takes to wake up the Millennium Warcraft? Pa! The sound of crisp porcelain suddenly rang out. In front of the two people, suddenly alert look back who? Cloud Dan's heart clattered a ring, just thinking, did not expect at the foot of what porcelain. It's just that it's a passage. How can there be any porcelain? The two looked at each other. One of them handed the blood in his hand to the other, and walked in the direction of Cloud Dance step by step. Cloud Dance looked at the figure that wiped close to constantly. Phoenix, Maumi became a seam. The man came to the position of Cloud Dance and took a look. There was a little doubt and strange in his eyes, but he didn't stay much, so he turned and left. Just a cat. Where's the cat from here? Another voice of doubt sounded. Who knows? Don't worry about it. It's important to send the blood quickly. Two people leave one after another. Cloud Dance and Dragon Poor Evil just walked out into space, leaned over to look for One Eye. Looking at the back of the two, they looked at each other and laughed. Cloud Dance a palm toward the cat on the ground. The cat instantly disappeared. It was just a cat she had made up, though extremely realistic. She took back her eyes, looked at the dragon, and nodded to him. With a smile, the dragon branded a kiss on her cheek and said, "Be careful." Cloud Dance burst into a smile, slightly jawhead, turned and disappeared in the channel. While Dragon Qingxia looked at the broken porcelain on the ground, and there was a dangerous chill in his eyes. This is an organ that doesn't know where to go. On the other side, Yunwu followed the two people for a long time, and finally stopped in front of a stone wall. Cloud Dance looks around. The ground is a little chilly. How always feel here gloomy and cold. One of them took out a token from his arms, put it in the groove on the stone wall, gently rotated, and with a click, the stone wall opened strangely. At the moment when the stone wall opened, a very dazzling light swept out. With the gap of the stone wall becoming larger, the light became more and more shining in the dark channel. Cloud Dance eyes startled. This strange light is how to return a responsibility? After the stone door was opened, the two men went in. In the last second of the stone door, a touch of purple shadow disappeared in the gap. As soon as he entered the stone gate, Yunwu's face changed, and he immediately made a border to wrap himself up. Behind the stone gate is a secret room. The silver light in the secret room is shining everywhere. It is as grand and luxurious as a palace. There are no tall buildings or hiding places. Cloud Dance looks at the figure on the high platform not far away with a slight sigh. Fortunately, just now the reaction is fast, and it's over when it's found. Strange quiet in the secret room. Can only vaguely hear two dignified breathing sound. Master, here comes the medicine. One of them is holding a blood bowl and owes his son. The figure standing still on the high platform finally has a trace of movement. It was a man with white hair hanging down to his waist, wearing white armor and lonely back, which made him feel extremely cold. Yes, it's Han. Yunwu's eyes narrowed slightly. The shade she felt just now was distributed on him, and there was no temperature on him. At this point, she had a great curiosity about the face of the man. Under the gaze of Yunwu, the man slowly turned around. At the moment when he faced Yunwu, Yunwu's breath was still, because his eyes, at this time, is a good on her. To be exact, the four eyes are opposite. Cloud Dance heart clatters a ring. Did he find her? How is that possible? She is now using invisible enchantment. Although it will consume a lot of power, the advantage is that no one will find it. How can he find it? After four eyes are opposite for a moment, Cloud Dance's eyes pass a doubt. He is not looking at her. So, who is he looking at? Yunwu turns around curiously and looks behind him. When she saw the stone statue behind her, her eyes were stunned for a moment, and her look was dull for a moment. It was a beautiful stone statue of a woman. The woman was wearing a light yellow robe, scattered on the ground, covered with purple quicksand, a black silk cascading down like a waterfall, a pair of willow eyebrows curving slightly like the moon, and under the willow eyebrows were a pair of strange purple eyes. Cloud Dance a surprise. Purple pupil eye? Isn't this the characteristic of the witch talent? Purple pupil eyes, that pair of ruddy thin lips slightly evoke, smile, but with a trace of desolate and stubborn. Cloud Dance micro-frown. Is there any grudge between this woman and this man? Or something? Otherwise, how could her stone figure appear here? And why did she feel so familiar with this woman? In her body, she always feels a little bit opposite to herself. The stone statue is perfectly carved, especially the temperament of the woman, as if she was standing in front of her. It's like a white lotus living in the dark, abrupt but unique. It seems that the white lotus will wither away after leaving the dark night. Is this woman also a witch? Yunwu thought deeply, and didn't notice that the gaze behind her, the gaze of the man in white armor, was on her at the moment. In the moment of Cloud Dance looking back, the man took back his eyes and looked at the two people under him. Put it down, plain as ice tone. Instantly make Cloud Dance heart a shock. All over the hair are erect. She glanced at the man suspiciously and thought, this is like a man who has been frozen for thousands of years. There is still a sweetheart. If this woman really takes a fancy to this man, will she be frozen to death? Yes. They put the blood on the stone platform, turned around and left. As the stone door opened and closed, only the man himself was left in the secret room. No, and the Cloud Dance hidden in the border. In the strange and quiet secret room, the man in white armor still stands on the high platform. His calm face can't see any change. The silence of this moment makes Yunwu feel that it has been a century. She began to regret that when the two men left just now, they didn't go out. They thought they could still move freely here, but they couldn't do anything. The man's eyes did not glance at her. Her heart stopped for a moment. If it goes on like this, it will shock suddenly. The armored man stepped down from the high platform and walked towards her step by step. Yunwu held his breath. He had a bad feeling in his heart, but he decided to take a chance. The four eyes are close to each other. Cloud Dance finally saw the man's face. The man, about 40 years old, looks like a very calm, happy, and angry man. The man suddenly stretched out a hand and touched Yunwu's cheek. He said quietly, "You are really like her. What do you think?" The Cloud Dances the Mao light one cold. The moment Gu Wu big knife rubs splits toward the front, a plunder body has already stepped back a few steps. He can see her all the time. It's just like your mother to give such a big gift to my uncle. The man looked at the wound on his arm and pulled the corner of his mouth slightly. But the next second, his wound recovered strangely. And his that line of sight, also direct lock in the Cloud Dance body that appears from the border. Uncle? Yunwu frowned slightly and glanced at the man in white armor. Is he also a wizard? When she saw the healing moment of his arm, the undercurrent of his eyes was turbulent and complex. How could he have the power of self-healing? This relative is wrong. I haven't had a mother since I was a child. Cloud Dance sneers. How can he admit that he is a witch because of his uncle? The witch is a taboo in the upper world. It's good not to disclose. Yunqi's granddaughter. Didn't your father Yunlinji tell you that your mother still has a brother? The man walked to Yunwu for a few steps and stopped again. Huang Qifeng, Huang Yingying's brother. His words made Yunwu look stunned. However, his words show that he knows her identity or who she is. Is this man really her uncle? But as far as she knows, isn't the witch people destroyed? How can the witches appear one after another? Was it just the witch people of the Light family who were destroyed, and the dark ones are still alive? It doesn't make sense. There are so many people in the dark department. How can they all be alive? Cloud Dance's eyes are cold. There is only one explanation. In order to hide the truth, the master of the witch clan killed others. And the rest of those masterminds are all working under the Gate of Beasts. The ultimate mastermind of the destruction of the witch clan must be the Beast Gate. Why did the Beast Gate destroy the witch clan? What threat does the existence of the witch clan have to the Beast Gate? As far as I know, this should be the territory of the Beast Gate. Why are you here? Are you also one of the traitors who destroyed the witch clan at the beginning? Yunwu looks at Huang Qifeng's face, and his lips are slightly crooked. Sure enough, she was right. Little girl, you don't understand the things. Huang Qifeng seems to have some helpless sigh, but Yunwu sneers in his heart. It's perfect to pretend. It's time to give him the best costume award of the year. And now, just the two of us. Can you let me go? Cloud dance smile like ice balloon. Huang Qifeng nodded and looked at the cloud dance with plain eyes. I can leave at any time. Cloud dance disdains to smile. Is it just me? Does it mean it's none of his business if she's not allowed to leave? It seems that he did not intend to play the family card with her in the name of uncle. In that case, can I ask you a few questions before I leave? Cloud dance, slightly pick eyebrows like provocation in general. Go ahead. Huang Qifeng made a cold voice and turned to the high platform. In his heart, Yunwu is a dead man. It doesn't matter what he knows. Is this woman my mother? Cloud dance glanced at the stone statue. Want to confirm their own ideas, in case one day not heart met missed. Huang Qifeng nodded and answered her question. Yunwu was surprised to get his affirmation. Looking directly at the stone statue for a long time, her eyes were complex, and the undercurrent was like an abyss. She withdrew her eyes and looked at Huang Qifeng again. Why does the Gate of Beasts wake up the ancient warcraft? At the moment when her voice fell, she obviously felt that the back of Dao Huang Qifeng was stiff for a second. Huang Qifeng looked back at the clouds. Calm eyes are no longer calm. You know really too much. No matter how much you know, you don't mind, do you? Cloud dance cold hum. Sneer at Huang Qifeng. Why can't let me die to understand? Uncle Cloud Dance's eyes are dark, and the smile on her lips is gorgeous. She wants to use the family card that he doesn't intend to use. Maybe it will have some effect. Huang Qifeng heard his uncle's son, and his calm eyes narrowed slightly, as if he was looking at Yunwu. At that moment, Yunwu saw a trace of tenderness in his eyes, which was the look that Dragon Qingxia showed when he looked at her. She was shocked. When he said uncle, she gave up the idea that he liked her mother. Now it seems that this idea is still right. Things seem more interesting. Huang Qifeng touched her deep smile. He looked back in a hurry and said, this ancient warcraft has great power to destroy the whole upper world. What do you think it is for? Enough to destroy the upper world? The cloud dance I ground is startled and fleeting. That is how terrible power? Why are you at the Beast Gate? Cloud dance eyes dim, finally not in the sarcastic look at him, but some serious. It may have been a moment of confusion at that time, but now I have no choice. Huang Qifeng took a glance at the cloud dance, but he was quite helpless in his words. The Beast Gate has been looking for you, but you are here. It seems that God is going to help me leave this place. For your mother's sake, my uncle can only save your life. Without waiting for Yunwu to speak, a bone-chilling ice sword suddenly strikes. Yunwu waves an ancient martial arts sword and flies down in the air. With a sonorous sound, the ice sword is divided into two parts. The ice sword falls to the ground and turns into water instantly. Looking at the pool of water on the ground, the look of Cloud dancing eyes was slightly surprised, and the breath around the body was instantly burning up. In the moment of Cloud dance lifting eyes, the surprised purple eyes reflected an ice body, a completely ice body. It's ice? The white armor has completely solidified into ice, and the white hair is like a layer of frost, and the black eyebrows are filled with frost. In particular, the black eyes had turned into ice color, revealing a touch of silver-white light. In addition to the ice armor, the whole body was covered with a layer of ice crystal frost, which was chilly. It was a bone-chilling. Cloud dance suddenly micro-lift eyes, as if suddenly thought of what. His ice eyes made her think of the Frost Zay, who was in the inner college of the human kingdom, God, King, Warrior. Although Frost Zay's ice eyes were inferior to his eyes, they were exactly the same. All these years, you have been working for the Beast Gate and meddling in the affairs of the human world, haven't you? The cloud dance's purple eyes, cold on a flash, sweep out one silk dangerous flame. Frost Zay's father should be threatened by him, will be adverse to the Zhou dynasty, since his minions extended to the Zhou dynasty, must also be under some orders to Xueliu, although Xueliu has died. But she did to her, but she can't remember a thing. It seems you have guessed. Huang Qifeng's icy eyes droop slightly, and the crystal on is like a sharp blade, which directly cuts a hole in the stone wall behind the cloud dance. Cloud Dance looked at the deep hole. Purple eyes dark. Isn't the demonstration? Snow Willow is dead. Her debt will be paid by you. A rebuke accompanied by a strong sense of burning. Instant attack toward the ice. In fact, she is not so stupid. She knows that she can't beat others, but she still takes the initiative to attack. The main reason is that even if she doesn't attack, he can't let her leave. It's better to show her momentum first. The main reason is, will she make this behind the scenes better? Huang Qifeng looked at the strong flames burning around the clouds. His ice eyes were calm, but there was a touch of surprise in the bottom of his eyes. With a wave of the palm of the hand, an ice wall immediately blocked between them. Cloud pupil eyes a cold, wind elements attack the body, waving the ancient martial arts sword, the body's speed rotation, countless illusions. Bang! With a loud noise, the whole room trembled. After the loud noise, there was a moment of condensation in the secret room, and a strange and quiet atmosphere filled the space of the secret room. The ice wall has been broken. Gu Wu's sword is straight and sharp. It's in the heart of Huang Qifeng. It's 2 fingers deep. The next second, the cloud dances in the pupil Mao to pass a trace of disbelief look, along with an icy cold breath splash out. That white-purple figure is instantly thrown away. Kong! Gu Wu's broadsword flipped several times in the air and fell on the stone floor with a clang sound, which made a continuous trembling sound. Poof! The cloud dances awkwardly to lie on the ground. The breath inside body churns. The blood of a fishy sweet spurts out. Huaqilan's 7 points of strength and the strength of Gu Degao only poked a piece of broken ice. Is this a stark irony? Yunwu wiped the corner of his mouth and stood up a little staggeringly. His scarlet eyes turned in a fiery red, burning. That's good. She gave a bloodthirsty smile, a little chilly. Huang Qifeng's icy eyes flashed a trace of killing intention, and frost rose faintly in her palms. Yunwu knew that this was the last blow. If she lost, she would not have the strength to resist anymore. Even if she had the strength to resist, she would be killed by the evil power and fire Kirin power in her body. At that time, she would only live worse than death. Her eyes suddenly glanced at the stone statue not far away. There was an evil smile at the bottom of her eyes. I haven't met my mother yet. Would you mind if I borrow your stone statue? I'll help. Just after Yunwu took the first step to get close to the stone statue, a voice of extreme fear passed by her ear, and then a black figure came. The next second, she felt as if her clothes were caught by something. Without thinking much, she was pulled to the ground by a powerful force and dragged away in an instant. The shadow and cloud dance disappeared. Huang Qifeng looks at the clouds that suddenly disappear in the secret room, and the cold around his body condenses into a killing intention. Bingmu looks at the pinhole on the opposite stone wall for a moment, and it's more and more gloomy. In the middle of winter, there were only 4 bright eyes staring at each other. Yunwu looks at the guy in front of him. He looks at him carefully with a ray of light coming out of the pinhole. He is covered with snow-white fur. 2 ears are erect, and a pair of black, bright, and round eyes are purring. His body is a bit like a mouse, but much more lovely than a mouse. In particular, the chubby 4 short legs, just dragging her to run, look like an old hen, buttocks a drag, running speed is not slow, just short legs. Cloud dance, slightly jawhead call mouse. She looked at the mouse, her eyes were cold. Why do you drag me here? When the mouse heard the words of cloud dance, it trembled fiercely, and then it jumped up and down. After a long time, the mouse became fat and lay on the ground with nosebleed. Yunwu looks at the bruised mouse and frowns slightly. Why is he so excited? Yunwu came to the mouse, picked up his tail, hung upside down, eyes lights and ran. What are you? The mouse bared his teeth and threatened. You are the thing. Your whole family is the thing. The teeth are very sharp, and the expression is frightening. Cloud dance lips cape tiny hook, peep out a put-on sneer. Just match this pig head similar face, have know what menace power. As soon as the mouse heard it, she struggled in Yunwu's hand. Suddenly, Yunwu felt a stabbing pain in her hand. She felt a slip in her hand with a slight, loosening force, and the mouse was out of her control. What a cunning fellow! Just at the blink of an eye of Yunwu, a shadow blocked the only light left at the pinhole. Yunwu's face turned back and stood up, looking at the opposite side dangerously. Opposite is a boy in a white fluffy robe, about 11 or 12 years old, a pair of black eyes as shining as gems, a handsome face as blue and purple, and there are still blood stains in the nasal groove. Cloud dance pupil Mao tiny am I? This boy is just that mouse? What are you looking at? Haven't you seen it? The boy looked at the cloud dance, not angry, said. Yunwu frowned slightly and wanted to turn a blind eye to his bruised face, but his sight was always attracted. Where is this? Yunwu glanced around and found that the space here was smaller than that of the cave where she and the dragon had fallen. If two people came in again, it would be almost full. My house. The boy sat on the ground and glanced at the clouds. Yunwu frowned slightly and looked at his smelly face. He was extremely speechless. How could he look like she owed him 250,000 or 80,000? What are you dragging me here for? Yunwu had to ignore his bad face again. The boy immediately looked at the cloud with disdain. It's your own clothes hanging on my legs. Not that I want to drag you in. Cloud dance micro drop eyes looked at the skirt on the hole, slightly jaw head, as if it is really so. In that case, where can I get out? Cloud dance looked around. In addition to the pinhole-size eyes, the other really did not find anything abnormal. He just pulled her in at that pinhole, didn't he? Yunwu's face changed slightly, and a trace of doubt passed by her eyes. How did she come in with such a small eye? What's wrong with this pinhole? What's your name? The boy didn't look at the cloud dance, he said with a rush. Cloud dance white, he one eye. Ask other people's name, also a pair of too big yes expression, just really should roast and be eat. Also don't know what strange species can turn into human form unexpectedly. Cloud dance. My name is Meng Bai. Meng Bai, can you tell me where I went out? The cloud dances. The eye light is tiny am I. The eyebrows are dyed with a trace of chill. How does it feel like this guy is deliberately delaying her time? Meng Baidan glanced at Yunwu and snorted. I advise you not to go out for the time being. Going out is to seek death. It's all my business whether you want to die or not. Just get me in and get me out. Yunwu's eyes are cold. He is too lazy to waste time with him. Meng Bai takes back his eyes, droops and ponders for a long time, and finally raises his eyes again. You are not his opponent. If you want to leave, I will help you. If you want to die, find your own way. The black line of cloud dance forehead brush rises. The facial expression sharp edge passes Meng Bai's face. Take a hint of dangerous flavor. Really don't say. Meng Bai shakes his head and lies on the ground in all directions, with the appearance of vowing not to speak. The cloud dances. The corner of lips lifts up a radiant of coldness and arrogance, and the cold light suddenly appears at the bottom of eyes. Bang! After a loud noise, the gravel continued to slide down, and the half-human-sized cave had appeared. The icy light outside instantly shone into the dark cave. The cloud dances the eye ground to skim a silk helpless. Must force me to use the violence can't. After hearing the loud noise, Meng Bai suddenly stood up and looked at the hole. His bright eyes were startled for a moment. The next second, a white light appeared between his palms and sealed the hole again. Cloud Dance looks at the strange fusion of the wall, and her eyes are scared. In the dark space, a look of doubt and danger sweeps on Meng Bai's face. As long as you don't fight them enough, I can let you leave safely. Looking at Cloud Dance's icy eyes, Meng Bai doesn't care. He blocks at the crack of the pinhole. He really has the posture that she won't let her go out if she doesn't agree. Who are you? The cloud dances in a low voice, and the words are full of unhappiness and impatience. Aren't you looking for that ancient warcraft? It won't be long before the wall comes out. It depends on whether you can get there or not. Meng Bai pointed to the opposite wall and said, he seems to understand Yunwu's temperament and know that if she wants to go out, he can't stop her. He can only use what she wants to do to attract her attention. The cloud dances to smell speech. Purple pupil, mouth tiny am I. Lip cape blooms to put on a sneer. Is not to let her go out. Is really afraid of her to die or have another purpose. But he guessed it right. She wanted to find the ancient warcraft more than go out to fight Huang Qifeng. Take me? Meng Bai's eyes are not easy to detect a trace of satisfaction. He thinks that he has successfully diverted Yunwu's attention, but he doesn't know that Yunwu has already guessed his mind. All of a sudden, the white light of Meng Bai's palm appeared. It was a very clear light, just like transparent. The white light suddenly broke away from his palm and shot towards the stone wall like an arrow. Then he raised his hands, fingers slightly bent, a tearing action. With a stab, the stone wall was abruptly torn by him. The next second, Meng Bai seems to have consumed a great deal of power, and he changes back to his original shape again. He lies on the ground in the shape of a mouse, gasping for breath, which is funny. After going out, you can reach the place where Warcraft is held. However, many dogs will be eaten if you're not careful. You'd better go and die yourself. Meng Bai languidly lie on the ground. Finish saying a turnover, sprawling, snoring. Cloud dance, forehead black line congeals. The eye ground passes a doubt. Fell asleep like this? Did he pass out? No matter why he stopped her, he could spend so much energy to open a gap for her, and then let bygones be bygones. Have a good rest. I hope I can see you soon. The cloud dances with vermilion lips, and the purple pupil eyes pass by. In an instant, the purple phantom disappears in place, leaving only Meng Bai on the ground. Feeling that Yunwu left, Meng Bai opened his eyes and looked at the place where Yunwu left. His eyes looked gloomy and fell a drop of crystal tears. Suddenly, the white light came again, and the hole at the entrance had been restored to a stone wall. Yunwu looks at the closed stone wall behind him, with purple eyes and a smile, and then drops her eyes slightly in meditation. I don't know what happened to Long Qingxia. What kind of mechanism does porcelain open? If they had known that it was so complicated here, they should not have separated. But with that man's strength, no matter what happens, it's no problem. Cloud dance cool, lips a hook, straight ahead. According to Meng Bai said, this passage can directly find the place where Warcraft is imprisoned. As she watched the movement around her, she inspected the stone wall in front of her to see if there was anything unusual. Wipe! With a sharp stabbing pain, the willow eyebrows suddenly frown, and the arm has been cut by something. The blood is blurred. The blood slides down the arm to the finger and finally drops on the stone floor silently. It emits a touch of blood-red flowers, which is charming and strange. Through purple clothes, you can clearly see the blooming blood. Careful observation did not find any different breath around, just that sharp blow. Not artificial. Then there is only one explanation. There is a problem in front. Yunwu takes out the hemostatic medicine from the space and applies it. Her purple eyes are slightly cold. Looking at the front without abnormality, she raises a bloodthirsty smile from the corner of her lips. She took out Guwu broadsword and put it forward tentatively. 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches Kung. The big knife sent out a strong vibration and wail. Bang. Yunwu was so shocked that the bone of his palm was almost broken. His hand trembled and the big knife fell to the ground. The cloud dances, and a touch of surprise passes through the purple eyes. What a powerful force! She tried to use her own power to control the power, but found that some underestimated the power, which was rebounded. Looking at the space in front of me, Cloud Dance's eyes are full of coldness and a scarlet smile. Try to see if it's your power or mine. At the end of the speech, the treacherous dark breath, like a sharp edge, whirled in the air, with the momentum of cutting through all obstacles, suddenly attacked. After touching the front, the dark power suddenly stagnated and kept making a clanging sound. The two magic powers collided and splashed a spark. Pa! The clear sound sounded in my ears. Then the treacherous power recovered and moved forward again, and the cloud danced around the corner of his mouth to recover the dark power. So easily broke through this line of defense. Yunwu felt that it was too simple, but he didn't think much about it and continued to move forward with Guwu's sword. But the real danger is waiting for her. After walking for a long time, Yunwu suddenly stopped, and her eyes showed a trace of brilliance. She smelled the wild nature of ancient warcraft. It should not be far away. She quickened her pace, and the elements of the wind swept away. All of a sudden, a long sword suddenly fell in front of her. The cloud danced, and her eyes were startled. Then she fell to the ground in an instant, which saved her body from the danger of being cut off. It's dangerous. Yunwu stands up and is frightened. Looking back at the flying sword, there was no shadow. Standing in front of her was a woman in a xinchuang green skirt. Her hair was scattered and covered half of her face. Her eyes looked at Yunwu with a trace of disdain. In this way, she is a very proud woman. Yunwu frowned slightly. Is she a sword spirit? The one who is not afraid of death broke into the forbidden area I guarded. The woman in the green skirt glanced at the cloud dance, slightly sarcastic. Are you the sword spirit in the Guardians? Cloud Dance's lips slightly hooked sneer. The sparks between the two women were more intense. Let me abolish you. You can save your life, or you will die here to pay homage to Warcraft. The green skirt woman's look was suddenly overcast and cold, and her killing intention suddenly rose. A gust of wind followed, raised the hair on half of her face. This lift made Cloud Dance's eyes look momentarily stupefied for a moment. I thought it was a beautiful and delicate face, but I didn't expect that half of it was destroyed under the cover of my hair. The half of it was like being bitten by tens of millions of mole ants. It was uneven, with tens of thousands of tiny grooves, which made the Cloud Dance goosebumps all over the place. The woman looks a little flustered suddenly. She looks at Yunwu's startled eyes. Her eyes are irritated, looking for death. As her voice fell, a green vine came, twining the clouds in an instant. Yunwu's face was dim, and Guwu's sword rose, cutting off the green vine in an instant. What are you excited about? Don't you hear my voice? There's nothing to be angry about. The voice of Cloud dancing like sand was a little helpless, but the Guwu de Geo in his hand didn't relax at all. In an instant, he cut through the air, tore apart the air, and the phantom of the dagger attacked the woman's head. Women jump in the air. Bang! With a loud noise, the broken stones were splashed in the air. In the position where the woman was standing, a deep gully of Guwu broadsword appeared. There were sparks and lightning around the gully. Looking at this scene, there seems to be a touch of surprise from the bottom of the woman's eyes. Thunder element? The woman took back her eyes on the gully and looked at Yunwu in surprise. Are you the woman the patriarch has been pursuing? Cloud danced tiny a pick eyebrow, for she can recognize her. Poor no surprise. Her reputation and appearance estimate already in every 10,000 beast door person in the heart. She is surprised that the upper bound people see Ray element is also so surprised. Could it be that this long-forgotten Ray element, even the upper bound people, has never made a breakthrough? Why does it feel impossible? Who are you and why are you here? The woman's desire to kill was aroused, and suddenly a touch of scarlet appeared. Cloud Dance smile like spring flowers, just walking by. When the woman heard the words, her gloomy face spilled a few threads of blood. The original white face was now crisscrossed with threads of blood. The threads of blood were very thick, as if they wanted to break the skin. It was like cracking with a sense of disgusting and gloomy. With that floating hair, it's like a fierce ghost, or a fierce ghost on the edge of anger. At the moment of Cloud dancing, his forehead was dripping with cold sweat, which was just right and vivid in an instant. The air around changed suddenly, and the sense of killing filled the air. The two figures are like shadows and illusions, intertwined with each other. The two extreme lights suddenly collide with each other. An ancient martial arts sword is a dark flame, and the dark flame is surrounded by a real and shining light. A long sword, as red as a brand iron, is crystal bright, surrounded by the black flame, breaking out. Every stroke is a fatal one, with the momentum of plunder. Suddenly, Cloud Dance looks surprised. Looking at her chest, a strange green appears in her eyes. The next second, her body flies out sharply and hits the stone wall. A bright red liquid is floating in the air, landing with Cloud Dance's embarrassed body. Cloud Dance curled in pain on the ground, frowned, and looked at his chest. He had just been hit by the pool of green. The hole was not deep, but it was full of flesh and blood. More importantly, the power that does not belong to her has entered her body. Looking at the woman, she glanced at her right hand in her purple eyes. Just now, she saw that the hand turned into a soft green body, which seemed to be able to extend a lot, because unexpectedly, after seeing the abnormality, it was too late for her to resist. Isn't she Sword Spirit? How can you have such a strange body? Hand in the map of the temple. Cloud Dance stood up, slightly pursed lips bloodthirsty radiant bloom. Do you have the ability to threaten me? At the end of the speech, the narrow passage was filled with a faint breath of darkness. The dark black mist was around Yunwu's body, and the breath was sent out in his bones. It's just like the dark devil coming into the world. It's horrible and gloomy. The woman looked at the Cloud Dance at the moment, and her ferocious face couldn't hide her surprise. Isn't she a witch saint? How could she have such strange power surrounded by that power? Her body could not move. The girl's eye pupil shrinks, hateful. The body is I can't move after the invasion of the dark atmosphere. The place is in a mess. Bang! The stone wall gives out a broken sound. The clattering broken stone crumbs continue to collapse. The stone foam dust is flying all over the sky, and the dark atmosphere is still endless. Pop! The sound of the sword pieces falling to the ground is clear and crisp in the woman's heart. The woman's eyes were slightly dazed, looking at the debris on the ground rigidly, with a dull look. Sword, broken poof. In the dark breath, the red liquid filled all of a sudden. The sharp dark power engulfed the woman and kept spinning. The blood instantly attacked the darkness. Vaguely, Yunwu saw that the green figure in the dark atmosphere fell down, and then stopped. The next second, there was no endless darkness. If it wasn't for the debris, no one would have noticed that there had been a battle here. The woman fell to the ground. The blood spots around her could be seen clearly. The fragments of her green skirt were scattered in the pool of blood under her body, and her skin was cut by the dark edge in many places, which was a little miserable. Cloud Dance's bloodthirsty smile, lips side outline. Don't thank me. Leave you alive. The woman looked at the cold and arrogant figure who was determined to leave, and her eyes were filled with resentment. I'll kill you, devil. Cloud Dance micro stop steps, lips open a sneer, get up again, disappeared in the dark channel. If you can come after me, I will accompany you to the end. The woman struggled to get up, but found that her body could not move. Tearing like pain devoured her senses. If you look at her carefully, there are meridians under her. At this moment, her meridians are broken, just like a living dead man. It's better to kill her than to live like this. Do you think you can find Warcraft? Destroy it in the dark channel. Her bloodthirsty steps stopped slightly, and her lips outlined a sneer, which disappeared into the endless darkness. Destruction? She's used to it. The breath of ancient Warcraft is more and more clear. A touch of unusual danger is also more and more obvious. Seems to follow her closer and more restless. Cloud Dance slightly frowns. Eyes flow light turnover, but the corner of the lip is still blooming cold flowers. Light pace did not slow down a bit. The hand of the ancient martial arts soared with strong power. He has a posture of killing gods when meeting gods and killing Buddhas when meeting Buddhas. Woo! There was a very sad cry. The Cloud dances fiercely to stop a footstep. In the eye passes a trace of doubt. This voice is as miserable as a wolf's howl, and as gloomy as a ghost's cry. What is that? The fire element in the palm of the hand rises, illuminating the passage. Yunwu looks at the front, and the clear fundus of the eye sweeps out a touch of brilliance. It's the end of it. The front is where the ancient Warcraft was held. Cloud Dance looks at the front not far away. The fundus is deep and dark. The front is a downhill. It is estimated that the ancient warcraft should still be in the lower layer. She frowned slightly. This is the lower level of the secret base. The ancient warcraft is still below. What is this place? All of a sudden, 5 words flashed through her mind. 18 levels of hell. Yunwu went downhill. Looking at the boundless slope, a trace of worry passed through her eyes. Would she lose her life? And the dragon Qingxia guy? Can you find her? No matter. Cloud Dance put away worried eyes. Lips slightly yawned. Just after she took the first step down the slope, she suddenly felt a strong suction, and her body could not help leaning forward. Cloud Dance, I ground surprised for this suction. She unexpectedly imperceptible. The fire element suddenly rises and resists the strong suction. But the suction is like a whirlpool, which completely engulfs the fire element. In the second of Cloud Dance's surprise, when it is dark, the whole person loses consciousness. At the same second, she seemed to hear the clang of the ancient sword. Crystal space, quiet and comfortable. It seems that everything is so bright existence. Well, Cloud Dance lies on the ground, slightly frown. The pain on the body let her stuffy hum a voice. Open your eyes, looking at the bright space in front of you. Cloud Dancing, dark eyes. The first reaction is that she was sucked in here by the huge suction. Suddenly, she sat up and fell down again with a cry of surprise. Pain. Cloud Dance frowns. The look of pain is self-evident. Aching limbs, weakness. Also want to scold your uncle. How to see more like the aunt's symptoms. When she was just sucked into the space by suction, she obviously felt that her body touched a cold and hard object. Although she only touched it, her body was numb in the next second because the hard object sent out the spirit power to fight against her. Suddenly, Yunwu's body was surrounded by a white light. Just when Yunwu's conditioned reflex wanted to use its own strength, it felt that the numbness and pain on the body were disappearing. Is this spiritual power to help her recover? Yunwu's eyes were stunned for a moment. Then she closed her eyes and let the spirit power flow around her body. No matter what the source of the spirit power is, since it's helping her, it's unnecessary. After breathing for a while, the pain of her body finally disappeared. Yunwu tried to use her strength and found that her body was normal. She jumped up and finally stood up. Lady, you wake up at last. The next second, Cloud Dance in front of a silver shadow stay was a powerful embrace circle up. The cloud dances sluggishly and lets that person circle. Some can't react to the present situation. Who just called her lady? Illusions? Yunwu frowns slightly, takes a deep breath, raises his feet, and exerts himself. Ah! She screamed, and then remembered that she was finally free. Lady, why do you step on me? Slightly aggrieved voice, accompanied by the eyes of resentment, straight at the cloud. For eyes look at each other, Cloud Dance can be considered to see the person's face. A silver robe exudes a dazzling light, black silk like ink floating. Features revealed uninhibited atmosphere. At first glance looks like an innocent child. The silver light around him never faded, as if he were just a phantom, as if he would disappear at the touch. Who is your mother? Cloud Dance, tiny pick eyebrow. Words reveal danger. You. The man smiles brightly, which makes the light around him fade. Who are you? Cloud Dance, slightly frown, obviously some displeasure. This muddleheaded also has an extra husband, which saves a series of troubles of getting married. Should we be lucky? The next second, Yunwu's forehead turns black. If Dragon Qingxia sees this scene, she may not be able to stop what happens next. Why, lady, are you confused? I'm Xuyin, and you're my mother's tears. Snow Silver slightly frowned, some doubt of the palm to Cloud Dance forehead. The cloud dances, the cold light sweeps out from the bottom of his eyes, looks directly at the white palm like a blade, touches the dangerous eyes, and the palm close to him is suddenly stunned. Lady, did you think of it? Snow Silver takes back her palm without any trace and looks at the Cloud Dance with a smile. Cloud Dance looked at the palm that put down, a cold smile, a light glance at Snow Silver. Another cry. Waste you. Snow Silver some distress of saw Cloud dance one eye, grievance way. You originally is my young son. Cloud dance forehead of black. Also don't bother with him and what? What is this place? Cloud dance looked around and found that this is a space without boundary. It radiates beautiful light everywhere, like an isolated fairyland. I don't know. I'm here when I wake up after I'm separated from my mother. Snow Silver looked at this space, some dissatisfied said. Cloud dance slightly frowned, always feels some strange. Can't say, is this space strange or in front of this person? You just brought me in? The Cloud dance's black of face, the eye ground, undercurrent surging. Snow Silver toward her smile, a row of white teeth shining. I see the lady came, so just pick you up? The Cloud dances to smell speech. The mouth color is one cold, the facial expression more sink a few minutes. Pick her up? Just that moment of impact and coma is real. Want to kill her is true. However, she was saved later, which she couldn't understand. Just at the power that he just brought her in, this person is too dangerous to believe. How could such an innocent person stop acting because of her eyes? Shouldn't you ignore her and continue to do what you want to do? Slightly drooping eyes, lips passing a trace of cold, so want to camouflage, then continue to play a monologue clown it. Cloud Dance glanced at the Snow Silver, but the smile at the corner of his mouth was stiff for a moment. A trace of doubt passed by his eyes, and the big knife disappeared. Suddenly, she pick eyebrows. In the moment of coma, she seems to hear the sound of the sword landing. Is it isolated in space? Did she let go after she was in a coma? That's why Degeo was left outside? Then she shook her head. When the dagger fell to the ground, she was conscious and would never let go of it. There was only one explanation. The space isolated the dagger. Why is dagger cut off? Is there any repulsion between this space and broadsword? How to get me in, how to get me out? Cloud Dance light glanced at Snow Silver. Cool way. Snow Silver suddenly shook his head, a face firmly refused attitude. It's not easy to see the lady. I just don't want to separate from the lady. Well, Cloud Dance micro pick eyebrows. Hands play with a water element dagger to Snow Silver. What did you just say? Snow Silver skimmed the dagger, throat slightly moved. The next second but closed his eyes. A face like death said, I said don't let the lady go. Yunwu's eyes were dim, and his eyes fell on the pendant hanging on his neck. The pendant was like a cluster of flames burning, but its shape was like a tear. It was only the size of a small fingernail, but it was extremely delicate and thorough. It was extremely abrupt in this space. I don't know why. I always think this pendant is useful. The pendant around your neck. Cloud Dance Willow, eyebrow, tiny pick. Want to ask him what that is? This is from my wife. Snow Silver picked up the pendant and looked at it. She danced towards the cloud with a pure smile on her face. Cloud Dance, Mao color a dark, is to show off to her? What's that? Snow Silver slightly frowned and looked at Cloud Dance's eyes. Tears of Flame Mountain Lady. Why don't you even remember this? Tears of Yinshan? Cloud Dance look along. The eye ground instantly flits over a fine on. Can you open one of the 5 elements of the sect, the Tears of Yinshan? There's no place to go when you've broken the iron shoes. You can't get any kung fu. Is this a blessing in disguise? She had a premonition that the clue of Snow Mountain drops could be found in him. Can you show it to me? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow, stretch out a hand. Shuayin glanced at Yunwu and thought for a long time. She still shook her head and looked at Yunwu with pitiful eyes. Lady, don't you want me? Cloud Dance forehead of black. Also can't refute what, after all, take a fancy to other people's things. I can only scold you in my heart. Keep loading. Cloud Dance is surrounded by dark atmosphere, which is extremely strange in this bright space. First, I'm not your mother. Second, tell me how to get out. Third, you gave me something around your neck. This is a naked threat, but it's also the first time that someone has said it so gracefully. Snow Silver slightly curled his mouth and glanced at Cloud Dance discontentedly. I can't get out of here. Are you sure you can't get out? The wind elements around the Cloud Dance are surging up, and each wind element has formed a sharp blade shape, ready to go. Snow Silver definitely nodded, but because of touching the edge of the wind element, there was a change. If I could go out, I would have gone to find my wife. Yunwoo's eyes flashed a touch of meditation. What he said was right. This place looks like a prison space. Although the lady he said is not her, there must be a person. It seems that he doesn't pretend his feelings for the woman. If he can go out, he will go out. It looks like a joke to be able to come in, but not go out. Cloud Dance cold glanced at Snow Silver. Lips corners sneer a hook. He will get her, and the purpose is not to let her break this space. In the next second, countless wind element swords hit the space with extremely sharp speed. In the next second, the treacherous scene caught Yunwoo by surprise. As soon as the blade touched the space, it bounced back, and the speed was twice as fast as that of her hand. The cloud dancing figure is bent. When the figure stays, it dodges a blow and suddenly turns back. A burning flame is swept out of the palm of the hand, which directly turns the wind element into ashes. It's ridiculous that one's own strength hurts one's own and is finally destroyed by one's own strength. Cloud Dance looked at the ground, was cut off a wisp of hair. Cold eyes swept out a touch of scarlet. Lady, I really can't get out. Cha! The sound of space being torn apart. A black flame strikes and cuts a hole in the space directly. The space that instinctively heals quickly and automatically is engulfed by the black flame and cannot be healed. In the crevice, Yunwoo saw a white figure, just like walking slowly in a leisurely court. The man looked at her with a black flame sword in his hand, with an evil smile on his face. Little thing, do you think I should kill this adulterer? Cloud Dance looks at the evil figure that wiped close at hand, the lip cape slightly a yawn. At will. The next second, Yunwoo fell into a warm and familiar embrace. The dragon glanced at Xuan, then gave a kiss on Yunwoo's cheek. The evil said, "See clearly, she's my woman." Snow Silver face slightly a change. Stand up, cold way. Let go of my wife. It seems that you are not going to let me let you go. Long Qingxia's mouth stirred up a smile, which was extremely dangerous. The soul of Snow Mountain. The soul of Snow Mountain? Yunwoo's face changed slightly. Is he the soul of Zuoshan's? Can we say that the drops of Snow Mountain and the tears of Flame Mountain have soul and can be transformed into human form? Snow Silver's smell speech, pure eyes slightly changed, become extremely complex. The next second, the silver light flash disappeared in front of the clouds. Want to go? The powerful force of Black Flame Dagger gushed out and split into the gap in an instant. Xuan's figure stagnated and could only retreat back. Looking at Long Qingxia, Xuan's face was cold. It's up to you? Long Qingxia looked at the cloud dance in his arms, and the smile on his lips was extremely evil. Little thing, how can you provoke flies for your husband? Cloud Dance slightly raised his mouth. Whitey One Eye, you seem to forget how I come to upper bound. She made trouble for him, as if he was much better than her. Dragon Qing Xie Chimu a smile. Eyebrows schemes a trace of helplessness. Then languidly looked to Snow Silver. Has been imprisoned for so many years. How does it taste? The expression of Snow Silver's fundus is unpredictable, completely without the pure and innocent just now. She stares at the dragon and says, "Let me go out. Spare your life." Yunwoo looks at the strange Snow Silver at the moment and laughs sarcastically. Although she knows he is acting, she is still a little shocked to see his real face. The acting is very pompous. It's really wonderful. It's no exaggeration to present him with a Golden Pig Award for Best Acting. But he's actually shouting with Long Qingxia. I just don't know if he has the capital to shout. Dragon Qing, evil light glanced at Snow Silver One Eye, lazy evil spirit of drooping eyes, to see Cloud Dance. Little thing, think about can match you only for husband. Cloud Dance can't help rolling his eyes again. Is he praising her or himself? Looking at Snow Silver, Cloud Dance helplessly shakes his head. That guy's really a bit bad. He can't get out of this space with his own strength, and he has to threaten others with a super powerful appearance. Yunwu snorted coldly. I really want to know where he got the courage to say that, tell me where the snowdrops are, and you can go out. Cloud dance horizontal a snow silver, pure cold way. Snow silver smell speech. The expression of the fundus of the eyes slightly a change. Some doubt of looking at cloud dance. Are you really not my wife? Nonsense, where is the drop of snow mountain? She has answered this question several times. Does he think she is teasing him? At the end of the speech, Shui's sharp eyes suddenly became a little dim. After a long time, he said hoarsely, Why do you look so similar? Similar? Cloud Dance's eyes slightly lift. Is it because he and his wife look too much alike so he will admit it? After a moment's meditation, the cloud dances, and the corners of his lips stir up a radiant. It's really a strange pair of lovers. One is like ice, the other is like fire. It seems that they can never be combined. They actually fall in love. Give me the tears of Yinshan. I'll look for the drops of Snow Mountain, and I'll help you bring your wife back, and then let you leave together. Is this condition enough for you to believe me? This prison space must be specially used by the Beast Gate to deal with him. Although I don't know why the Beast Gate didn't kill him in order to prevent future trouble. I'm sure that if he left now, he would scare the snake. Snow Silver looks at the cloud dance. The Mao light is complex. Hang him out upon her for a long time. Finally nod. Lift Mao to smile away. That before you didn't bring back my Nyang son, I secretly regard you as my Nyang son first. Cloud dance smell speech facial expression schwa of a black. Then feel from the side that wipe the smell of murder. How do you feel that he is deliberately provoking the dragon cloud dance? Took the tears of Yinshan in Shui's hand, and the corners of her mouth raised a satisfied arc. One of the 5 elements is here. Looking forward to our next meeting. Yunwu picks Shui's eyebrows, pulls up Long Qingxie, turns around and walks away. He tugs at him with one hand, and his strength is not lax. He is afraid that the next second he gets out of control, Shui's life will be gone. I have a present for you. 1 second before stepping out of the space, it seemed that Yunwu heard such a sentence. Before he had time to recall the meaning of this sentence, he felt a sudden void under his feet, and his body fell into the endless darkness. Better pray we don't meet again. A roar out of the endless darkness. The darkness around is endless, and the hurricane is whistling in my ears. Fortunately, there is a warm and powerful embrace around me. Cloud dances palm, burns fire elements, looks at the extremely fast blurred line of sight, frowns slightly. How can it feel like being driven into the 18th floor of hell? Cloud dance lifted Mao to see a dragon to pour evil, but discover he is still a pair of calm appearance. In the heart some doubts. This is to where? The lowest level, where ancient warcraft was held. Long Qingxie Chimu smile, deepened a little circle. Cloud dance hand strength. Cloud dance slightly jaw head, looked at the place where the top layer fell. Eyes with a smile. If not, Snow Silver pulled into the space will not fall here. If you continue to walk all the way up the upper level, I don't know how much trouble you will encounter. It's plain sailing and a blessing in disguise. Where does the porcelain switch lead to? Guess it. You're right. There's a reward for your husband. Long Qingxia's face is mysterious. Cloud dance micro frown. Why do you want I? Love to say, not to say. But she already had the answer in her heart. In such a humble but secret position, there would be a mechanism. The things under the mechanism must be what she has been looking for. With a smile in his mouth, Long Qingxie said, Little thing, it seems that I can't give you this reward for my husband. Cloud dance light glances at him one eye, but inadvertently touches his chest. The blood on the robe, the expression of the fundus of the eyes suddenly sinks. Are you down? Dragon Qing, evil, slightly jawhead, motioned her to rest assured to smile. Just went to test. Don't be useless. The cloud dances the Mao color is icy cold, drew back the vision. You know that you need 5 elements to get into a place. If you go on like this, aren't you looking for death? This injury will soon be cured. With a smile, the dragon makes the cloud dance tighter. She knew what he meant, but she just didn't want to see him look scarred, even if he could heal immediately. The wind was blowing. There was some chill, and the warm and powerful embrace was the only harbor she could warm. Pa! A clear voice sounded. Just when Yunwoo was curious about the abnormal sound, he suddenly felt that the pressure around him had increased a lot, which was completely different from the just breath. Bang! Without waiting for the cloud dance to think more, with the violent impact of the boundary of space, the two people jumped in the air and landed steadily. Cloud Dance raised his mouth to look at the top. The fundus of the eye appears a touch of surprise. The place where they fell just now was an endless long hole. Now it looks strange and dark, but it's extremely smooth. It doesn't seem to be formed naturally, but it seems to be carved artificially. And now they are still surrounded by a gray. Looking at it is a sunny, just like fairyland. If she didn't know that she had fallen into the bottom, she would think that this was a fairyland in the mainland. Surrounded by peach trees, the breeze blowing, peach leaves fluttering, fall on the bank of the autumn water, playing long flow, all over the sky, peach blossom just like a flying goose, lining on the green trees, icing on the cake. What a wonderland! Cloud Dance walking in the peach blossom forest, phoenix eyes with warm light. Look a little trance, for a moment. She seems to have nothing to worry about. Anything can be put down. Only the eyes of this blurred scene. Little thing, this is a dreamland. Don't be confused by this sight. Long Qingxie holds the Cloud Dance. His sword eyebrows are slightly wrinkled. There are few worries deep in his eyes. For a moment, he was also in a trance. Obviously, he couldn't completely resist the bewitching power of this dreamland. Cloud Dance steps slightly pause, looks suddenly a cold. Are you sure this is the place where Warcraft is imprisoned? Long Qingxie's golden eyes shook his head slightly, looked around and looked a little strange, then dropped his eyes with a mysterious smile. It seems that we are in the wrong place. Cloud Dance nodded, just the space breath, before and after the moment's so big change, mostly because they entered this dreamland. I didn't expect that it was a man and a woman who entered my dreamland for the first time. In the distance, a cold voice came and fell into their ears. Listen to that woman's voice, Cloud Dance, eyes slightly cool. This woman is also a thing of their dreamland. If you are destined to love each other, but you have to separate each other for a lifetime, how would you choose? A peach blossom falls in front of Yunwoo. The peach blossom is still bright, but Yunwoo sees a crystal body on it. Looking at the looming figure in the sky, it seems that the atmosphere of sadness is all around, and the cloud is dancing slightly. Is it a woman hurt by love? You should ask him that. Cloud Dance refers to the dragon around the evil. The corner of the mouth raised a touch of radiance. Well, no one will ask. The woman seemed to think of some unbearable memories and sighed with a dull sigh. Cloud Dance micro-frown. This fantasy is true or false? Is it real, or is it a fantasy they imagined? Can you tell me how to get out of this dreamland? It's easy to get out of this fantasy. Words, she seems to laugh. As long as you kill each other, you can go out. Her words hovered in their minds like a magic spell. Cloud Dance's eyes are dark, and she glances at Long Qingxie with her eyes slightly raised, and Long Qingxie also looks at her with a tacit understanding. Kill each other? After examining the dragon for a long time, the Cloud Dance still shakes its head. This is the only evil in the world. It's pleasant to watch, and I can't bear to kill it. The only woman who can fight with me, who dares to kill? Two voices, one indifferent and one domineering. The answer is the same. I'm afraid it's up to you to kill or not. If you want to go out, you can only kill unless you want to stay with me. As soon as his voice fell, a strange light suddenly flashed in front of Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxie. In the blink of an eye, they saw the illusion of each other in front of them. Dragon Qing evil looking at the opposite Cloud Dance, golden eyes micro-shun. The Cloud Dance in front of him was like an enemy. There was a cold and dark smell around his body. He was holding a black flame sword, and his purple eyes had become fiery red. Are you going to try your best as soon as you make it? Dragon Qing evil lips are out of a touch of evil radiance. The radiant is a little more hesitant than usual. The dragon Ching Sieb in front of Cloud Dance is still white, a calm look. The smile at the corner of the mouth is still evil. The tenderness at the bottom of the eyes is still clear. Holding the ape, wanton eyes sweeping Cloud Dance with a trace of provocative smile. Cloud Dance slightly frowns, looking at the dragon poor evil in front of him. A trace of complexity passes behind the fundus of his eyes. The black flame sword in his hand is ready, but he refuses to move. I would like to remind you that this phantom is a part of the residual soul of the Numenon. If this residual soul disappears, I don't need to say more about how much impact this experience will suffer. Take care of yourself. Smell speech, Cloud Dance, eyes suddenly a cold. He swore in his heart that after solving the problem of Dragon's evil, he would beat the rampant woman to the ground. But all of a sudden, a possibility suddenly flashed across her heart. This woman will not be trapped here because she has broken into the dreamland by mistake and can't get rid of her beloved. Looking at this woman's miserable appearance, Yunwu reminds herself that she must start, or she will be her next. But he was holding the black flame sword, but he couldn't do it. Damn it! At this time, she had already cursed in her heart for 10,000 times. The one who created this illusion was either lack of heart or lack of love. Otherwise, how could she design such a bloody bridge? Do you like to kill your beloved? Why not a real confrontation? It's a ghost. Pervert. Little thing. Don't you want to be a husband? Opposite the dragon Ching, evil looking at the clouds. Eyes, endless tenderness. Yunwu's face turned black, and his eyes were cold. Weifu said that he would protect you for the rest of your life. We should never separate again. Long Ching Xie came slowly towards the Cloud Dance, stretched out his white palm, and stopped in the air. Cloud Dance looks at that palm. The look of the fundus of the eye is a little strange. Little thing, live here with my husband. No matter what else, I'll be here all my life. I'll get married and have a child, and I can still have a baby. Shut up. He's not as disgusting as you are. Yunwu's face sank, and a roar came out. The powerful power of black flame dagger gushed and split away in an instant. The opposite person moves a meal, then the smile of the corner of the mouth diffuses. See only that dragon inclines evil, remnant soul, unreal, easily evade a blow. Little thing, kill Wei Fu, but Wei Fu will get hurt. I know you will not give up. Dragon Ching Siep charms with a smile. It's not shameful to take advantage of the weakness of Cloud Dance. He's right. If you hurt him, Long Ching Xie will also be hurt. Although she knows that it won't endanger her life, she still can't do it. To deal with the she he is facing, he must be full of blood. Cloud Dance forehead of black. Think about it or can't hurt him. However, he's so naked threat her. This has really inherited the Dragon Ching evil. How shameless. But I don't know why. Even from such a similar he mouth said, let her feel a little disgusted repulsion. It seems that some words still need to see who said them. The ghost of Long Ching Siep is so disgusting. I don't know what her ghost looks like over there, cold, bloodthirsty, or in her mind. She came up with a woman who was extremely charming and hot. She was casting her eyes at the dragon and showing off her figure. It's impossible, it can't be like that. Cloud Dance mouth twitch for a while. Quickly shake her head, wave away the picture in her mind that she can't look directly at. Eyes where just that scene of horror is still refused. If that is the case, her image will be completely destroyed. Xianggong, come with me, let's go home. In the Cloud Dance, opposite Dragon Qingxie, the smile is enchanting. The purple clothes on the body are thrown on the ground, leaving only a transparent gauze hanging on the body. The gauze is like nothing. Long Qingxie looks at the Cloud Dance in the 180-degree turn opposite him. His eyes are thoughtful and smiling, and his mouth is slightly curved with a touch of danger. In front of him, the Cloud Dance is no longer as cool as it was just now. Instead, it is the enchanting that he has never seen. It should be said that it is sexy and enchanting. Although the small steamed bread on the chest is still so small, the clothes are really few. Long Qingxie glanced at the purple clothes she had taken off from the ground. Her golden eyes laughed, and the radiance of her lips spread continuously. Why didn't you find it before? This little thing was so predictable and hadn't been observed for such a long time. It seems that you need to find time to observe it well after you go out. Cloud danced to the dragon. Hook up his arm, clenched in her arms. That rigid arm touched her chest of small steamed bread. Can't help but stiff for a moment. Xiangong, let's go. Cloud Dance is attached to the ear of Dragon Qingxia, with beautiful eyes and charming voice. Dragon Qing, evil gold eyes, slightly droop, thin lips still young. Do not move, also, do not refuse. Go ahead. Cloud Dance slightly curls his mouth and pulls the dragon to act in a coquettish way. Suddenly, the smile of Dragon Qingxia's mouth was stiff, and a trace of pain passed in his golden eyes. He closed his eyes slightly, which made him smile more evil. Little thing, it's really sharp. His face was pale, his breath was disordered, and a touch of crystal red liquid overflowed from the corner of his mouth. Poof! Long Qingxia finally couldn't help it. A mouthful of blood gushed out, and his body half knelt on the ground. Xiangong, are you okay? Cloud Dance looks at Long Qingxia's pale face and immediately hugs him in his arms. The worry deep in his eyes is real. The dragon's evil breath was rapid, but the corner of his mouth was filled with a mysterious smile. Little thing, is it time to come? Give me a kiss, and it'll be okay. Long Qingxia's golden eyes drooped slightly, and he felt the breath coming from behind, which made him smile. Really? Cloud Dance coquettishly smile, red lips gather to the thin lips of Dragon. Dragon Qing, evil thin lips micro hook, smile of mystery, smile of deep, don't refuse, also don't gather in front. Seem to be waiting for that person to come. Too shameless with a rebuke, Long Qingxia felt the smell of killing behind him. He didn't hide at all. Instead, he laughed with relief. The cold, dark breath is like a sharp blade, coming straight to the dragon. At the moment of arriving at the back of the dragon, the breath turns steeply and splits to the kiss, Yunwu. Disillusionment of the remnant and shock of the noumenon. Poof! In the middle of the sky, the purple figure fell rapidly. However, at this time, the white figure swept away and instantly caught her in her arms. Little thing, I've been waiting for you for a long time. This woman is disgusting. Thinking of the enchanting side of the ghost, Yunwu felt that there was a storm in her chest. I don't know whether it was because she just killed the ghost, or because she was disgusted Dragon Qing evil will Cloud Dance in his arms. A deep smile, magnetic voice swept out. If just that white soul is you, for husband must not hold. The Cloud Dances white he one eye. In the eye the clear cold sweeps out. The mouth is cheap. Is he really your lover? How can you do it? The disappearing voice came out again with a touch of surprise. Obviously, she had been watching the scene secretly. Cloud Dance eyes bottom cold on suddenly appear. A touch of bloodthirsty scarlet emerge. She said, and see her must she good looking. She stood up, holding a big sword in her hand, and said indifferently, this kind of thing is nothing in front of us. Love this kind of thing, no one can say clearly. In her eyes, her man no one can replace, no one can hurt. After she wanted to know that Long Qingxia would not attack her ghost, she decided to do it. Although she knew that he would be hurt, she would rather hurt him in her hands than in others' hands. Because she's absolutely sure that she can kill someone before they hurt him. And he, the most unable to hand is her. It was because he knew each other that he had been waiting for her to show up. That's what happened between them. If there must be a person who was hurt, that person must be a dragon who was willing to accompany him. Only Cloud Dance. Haha, what an insignificant one. The woman looked up at the sky and screamed, her tears falling down. Have you ever thought about the consequences of losing a ghost? I think so, but I don't want to know. The cloud dances and hums coldly. The eye color is cold. If the ghost is lost, the noumenon will be incomplete, and so will the lost. Don't worry about the disgusting dragon and the charming herself, but she knew in her heart that the real consequences must not be so simple. I don't want to know is don't want to face. I just want you to know the woman sneered, and the wild laughter kept whirling. I will never escape from reality, and I will never be hypocritical. I don't want to face reality. I just want you to shut up. Cool voice of fall. A touch of cold and proud figure suddenly swept out. Brush. The wind element of the hurricane is lifted up like a blade, and it is tossed up in the mid-air in an instant. The black flame broadsword was burning black flame, cutting a sharp edge in the air and hitting the woman directly. Just when the woman wanted to escape, she found that her body could not move. Her proud eyes widened in an instant, looking at the knife close at hand and shaking her head. No! The sword fell down and buried the unspoken words forever. The hazy figure disappeared and melted into the dreamland. The cloud dances a facial expression to startle, flits past a doubt. Is this also a remnant soul? Put away the puzzled eyes. Yunwu came to Long Qingxi's side. With a slight hook on his lips, he put up his slender palm and said with a smile, "High five for this perfect cooperation." The sword eyebrow of Dragon Qing Xie leaps with joy. As soon as his palm is lifted to the air, he suddenly feels a strong suction and instantly picks up the cloud dancing waist. And in the next second, the two were involved in the irresistible suction vortex. In the whirlpool, they fell into a coma. When they wake up again, they're out of the dreamland. Cloud Dance, looking around, slightly frowned, did not expect that the dreamland actually in the channel wall is really a careless will be sucked in. And just then that wipe suction is to push them out of the dreamland. The star eyes droop slightly, and the bottom of the eyes is deep in meditation. This illusion is obviously real. Just how can someone set up a dreamland in such a hidden passage? It's hard to be true. Which infatuated woman left her ghost there just to test love? That's true. It's a wonderful flower among the best. No wonder everyone says that infatuated women are the most difficult. It's obvious that the scene in front of her is no longer a mirage, and she also smelled the breath of ancient warcraft. This should be the lowest level where they are coming. Looking around, it's like a cage, surrounded by walls made of stone. You can see the opposite at a glance. Close observation, there are few people guarding and in and out here. It is estimated that only when blood is sent will someone come. It seems that no one here really knows that this passage exists. Suddenly, the golden light of the dragon in my mind suddenly appeared, and a touch of information emerged. Fossil refining is a pure firestone. It is collected from the magma in the core of Yinshan. It is extremely hard, and God and man can't break its defense. This fossil refining is only available in the core of Yinshan, which is extremely limited and rare. Cloud Dance looked at the information of the tornado and looked at the stone walls around. Her eyes changed slightly. So if you want to leave here, you can either go back the same way, or you can only go out above board. Lift Mount to see one-eye black cloth, long winter of original road. Cloud Dance facial expression a dark. This endless channel. Even Jinling may not be able to reach the top. I smell old warcraft. Cloud Dance looks at the dragon to pour evil star. How tiny am I? The eye ground sweeps out a fine on. Now it's over. It should catch up. Long Qingxie took a deep look at the distance. Catch up with what? Catch up with the theater. Two white shadows swept out. A burst of wind blowing. The moment has disappeared in place. In the distance, a man in white armor came slowly, holding a few bowls of blood in his hand. It was the crystallization of several times of blood. It was extremely precious. Huang Qifeng went to a stone gate, and when he pulled the empty palm of his hand, the stone gate card was removed. It seems to be extremely easy, but I don't know that it's hard for people even at the level of Wuzong. Cloud Dance eyes slightly heavy. The ability of Huang Qifeng has been strong to her incalculable. This kind of ability, put in at that time of Sorcery Clan, should also be upper class. How willing to be reduced to work for 10,000 Beast Gate. In the end, he was controlled by the Beast Gate and lost his freedom? No matter what the reason is, the result is nothing but suffering. Cloud Dance casts a look at Dragon Qingxie. Dragon Xingxia's golden eyes droop slightly and nods in response. Cloud dancing and vermilion lips outline a perfect arc. Is that what he said? It's just a coincidence. Otherwise, even if you come here, you won't be able to open the stone gate. After knowing that the space barrier is useless in front of him, Yunwu stops the dragon from using the space barrier to sneak in and directly hide in a corner to observe the situation inside. Although there is a great chance of exposure, she is ready to fight. If she is not found, she will feel some regret. Just after Huang Qifeng opened the stone gate, a huge warcraft appeared in front of them. Cloud Dance eyes startled. The first feeling is that this warcraft is dead. Warcraft is more than 2 people tall. Some parts of its body are crisscrossed and cracked. The warcraft is lying on the ground as if it had no bones. Its 2 tusks are on the ground, and its eyes haven't moved. It seems that it has lost the breath of life. This warcraft has been dead for thousands of years, right? Such a warcraft, 10,000 beast door, can find a way to wake it. It's really weird. Huang Qifeng's palm power rises, sucks the blood in the bowl into the air, slowly moves it to the body of Warcraft, and drives it along the cracked body of Warcraft. Finally, the blood is totally absorbed by the body of Warcraft. How long have you been awake? Huang Qifeng takes back the strength between the palms of his hands and says plainly. Then he took the blood bowl, turned and left. He didn't stay for a moment after passing through the hiding place of Cloud Dance and Dragon Xingxia, as if he didn't find them. Cloud Dance's eyes are deep in thought. He has some doubts. How can he not find them so close? Is he pretending not to find out? No matter what it is for, since he wants them to see Warcraft, they are not good to refuse, so they have to comply with his meaning. It's better to be above board than to be furtive. Anyway, I'm not afraid of being discovered by others, don't you think? The dragon tilts evil gold Mao to smile, smiles some evil, hang Mao to vaguely look at Cloud Dance. Yunwu felt the restless hand on his chest. His face changed. This guy has something to say. It's time. It's not serious. The Cloud dances angrily to scold lift a foot to make an effort to step on, taking advantage of the strength of the waist to loosen the moment to escape the devil's hand. Low scolded, shameless. The dragon leans forward in pain, and the corner of his mouth is smiling with evil spirits. But there is a dangerous smell in the smile, especially the pair of seemingly calm golden eyes, which are more and more dark. Just after they walked into the stone room, the stone door was closed. Cloud Dance looked at the closed stone gate and glanced at Warcraft with some doubts and glances. Is this stone gate closed by it? To be sure, Huang Qifeng was not the one who closed it. Otherwise, he would not let them in so easily, and they would not be so stupid as to come in without any precautions. Is Warcraft awake? How else to explain the closed stone gate? Does it turn off automatically? Why does this Warcraft feel strange? Cloud Dance slightly frown, always feel where something is wrong. This is already a mummy. Longqing, evil thin lips micro hook, pull open a touch of radiant. The Cloud Dance star Mao is startled. Some can't believe of looking at the dragon to pour evil. That blood in the blood pool, is this Warcraft's? Long Qingxia said with a smile. If you don't guess wrong, the blood pool you see will turn into a pool of blood when other people fall in. But you're okay, right? Why? Cloud Dance willow eyebrow micro see you. Don't understand of looking at the dragon to pour evil. How did he know about the blood pool? Why did she know that others would melt when they went in, but she was okay? Looking at her a perplexed look, Long Qing evil spirit smile. Because you are the same kind, such a simple problem do not understand, stupid. Like? Cloud Dance. Send him a cold eyes. She will look again on the Warcraft. Looked at the Warcraft. Since he didn't want to say the reason, she didn't want to know. Let confusion be answered in action. Yunwu squatted beside Warcraft and stroked its cracked head. The fundus of his eyes was slightly dark. There were many wounds on his body, large and small. It should have been left by an extremely bad battle. For some reason, she felt a little pity for the Warcraft. Wow! A very slight sound came into the Cloud Dance ear. Cloud Dance I ground flits a silk surprised. Lift Mao to see to Long Qing Xie. Did you hear what voice? What sound? Dragon Qing evil sword eyebrow slightly wrinkled. Did not hear anything unusual. I seem to hear something. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you hear that? Cloud Dance eyes swept out a touch of joy. Some hasty look to the dragon. Dragon Qing evil micro cu sword eyebrow. Thin lips tightly pursed of shake head. Gold mouth thought for a moment. Maybe only you can hear. Is it? Yunwu looks at Warcraft again and listens to the source of the sound carefully. Wow! The voice sounded again. The Cloud Dance eye ground flits over a silk not to believe. The eye stares at the belly of the Warcraft for a long time, can't calm down. In its belly. This sentence a export. Dragon Qing evil calm gold Mao unexpectedly also appeared a trace of abnormality. The Warcraft has been sleeping for thousands of years. Not to mention that in order to wake it up, the Beast Gate is exchanging blood for it. But in this 1,000 years of silence, can the baby in its stomach still live? Did you hear me right? Long Qingxie needs Yunwu to confirm again. Yunwu looked at him and shook his head. She heard 3 cries clearly. It's getting more and more interesting. Cut the little guy out. Dragon Qing evil mouth slightly yawn, showing a touch of evil smile. Cut it out. Yunwu stares at Long Qingxie. Is this man too black-hearted? But that was just the next second. Dong! A round grunt suddenly touched Yunwu's hand and rolled out. Yunwu and Long Qingxie are surprised to look at that thing. I saw that it was like a ball. After it hit her feet, it bounced back to Warcraft, and then it hit her feet again. Once and again, it went round and round. Endless Cloud Dance feel a cool hand, looking at the rolling back and forth of the little guy. Eyebrows cannot help a wrinkle. Then he stretched out his hand, grabbed the little guy, picked up the little guy's tail, and looked at it carefully. The skin is like a potato, and it looks like a potato, except for a short tail and facial features. It looks like a potato at first sight, but the body seems to be a little longer than a potato. There is a potato in the belly of Warcraft. Is there any genetic variation? Well, potatoes hanging upside down, looking at the clouds, some doubts and innocent eyes. Cloud Dance also looked at the potato with a puzzled face, holding its tail and constantly rotating, as if to observe how this variant came from. What is this? Cloud Dance holding potatoes do not let go. Hanging in the air toward the dragon, tilt evil shake. Long Qingxie looks at the potato, and a clear smile appears in his golden eyes. The little Warcraft that has not been formed should be awakened by you. Awakened by me? Yuma was slightly surprised. She didn't do anything. How did she wake up the little guy? Maybe it's because you have the taste of its mother, or maybe it's hungry and wants to eat steamed bread. Long Qingxie's sword eyebrow looks at the small steamed bread in front of her chest, and her charming thin lips evoke a perfect radiant wantonly. Shameless. Cloud Dance angry a roar, cheek instant blush. Warcraft should not drink milk, and the little thing seemed to understand the words of Long Qingxie, and he turned left and right in Yunwu's hands, with a smooth mouth and 2 white teeth. It seemed that he was very excited and happy. Bang! The little guy played too much. Yunwu felt that his fingers slipped, and the little guy had fallen to the ground. Wow! The little guy was lying on the ground and rolling. It seemed to hurt. Cloud Dance sighed and fished it in the palm of his hand. He said coldly and sternly, "Don't call again and bake you." As soon as the little guy heard it, he immediately shut up and looked at Yunwu wrongly with his nose. He was really wrong. Yunwu couldn't help laughing. This little guy is so cute. The next second, the smile on the corner of her mouth was frozen for a moment, and the look of her eyes also changed slightly. This little guy actually grew limbs. In this instant, the limbs will come out. Is this the speed at which ancient Warcraft grew? Cloud Dance willow eyebrows slightly wrinkled, lips slightly pursed. Looking at this little guy's appearance is not like potatoes, but also really has a Warcraft look. What about it? Cloud Dance raises Mao to see to Long Qingxie. There seems to be a trace of helplessness between eyebrows. I'm afraid you can't get rid of it if you want to. Dragon Ching, evil, slightly pick eyebrow, looking at the saliva on Cloud Dance clothes, smile slightly deep meaning. This Warcraft is very spiritual. Spitting is a habit of Warcraft, which means it recognizes this person and follows this person, especially the newborn Warcraft. Once the little Warcraft identified its master, it would never change. Even if the master died, it would live alone and never recognize other masters. Yunwu looks at the spit on her robe. Her forehead suddenly turns black. How can she not understand what it means? Last time, Xiao Jinbao thought that she was overdrawn and bleeding too much, so she was sleeping all the time. She also brought her into the space, and now she added another. Is she born to be a nanny? Long Qingxia looks at the Cloud Dance tangled, helpless appearance. Thin lips slightly hook up, in this little thing always can give him too much surprise. Cloud Dance put the cub on the ground, let it play, carefully looked at the Warcraft in front of it. If this Warcraft is awakened and used by the Beast Gate, it will be a thorny problem in the future. What do you mean? Long Qingxia sits lazily by Yunwu's side, looking at her side face and slightly picking eyebrows. Dry it up again. The Cloud dances, the eyes are cold, and the words reveal the determination. Long Qingxia's golden eyes looked at Warcraft. It seems that it's another battle that needs consciousness. Cloud Dance lips cape slightly hook up, glanced at Dragon Ching, evil one eye, pick eyebrow way. Do you have consciousness? Let the blood of Warcraft dry is undoubtedly the best solution. The blood needed to wake up Warcraft is hard one. I'm afraid it will be a long time before I dry the blood of Warcraft. In that case, her time will be enough. 10,000 Beastgate has always regarded this Warcraft as the last chip. It will not let Warcraft die like this, so that Warcraft will not die because of being drained of blood. Although she knew the consequences, she had to. Isn't it the price of life for consciousness? She's already ready. Well, what about the little guy? Cloud Dance looked around, but did not find the trace of the cub. Cannot help but some doubts. Long Qingxia also looked back for a week, but he didn't find the cub. Thinking for a moment, he said with a charming smile, "This Warcraft has a very strong spirit. Probably because you want to hurt its mother, so hide." Cloud Dance Phoenix Mao Tiny Am I, suspiciously cast an eye Dragon Qingxia. Need not say of so past human nature? But she did have to think that the little guy was still playing, but his kung fu was gone for a while, so she didn't really understand her suddenly. A happy East sun suddenly hit her leg. The little guy is grinning at her. Cloud Dance slightly frowned. Looking at the play is happy little guy. Some helpless. Well, she thought it too complicated suddenly. The little guy bit her skirt and tugged hard, although the strength was insignificant to her. The Cloud dances suspiciously and looks at the foot to make the suckling pull her little fellow vigorously. Where does it want to drag her? Looking at the direction that the little guy dragged her, there was nothing unusual. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a little doubt and carried her step towards which direction. The little guy was thrown out because of her sudden loosening, and his body suddenly hit the opposite stone wall, rolling and wandering between the Cloud Dance and the stone wall. Under the effect of Cloud Dance, the little guy was trampled under her feet. Then he stopped rolling. He looked at the little guy with tears in his eyes and pitifully looked at her. Yunwu was defeated in an instant. Is this guy made of a ball? Is there any bone in his body? Looking at her wrinkled face, Yunwu shook her head secretly, sighed a little, and continued to walk in that direction. The little guy regained his freedom and jumped again and again. One hit her, one hit the stone wall, one lingered between her and the stone wall. Yunwu's lips drooped, and her face was cold. One of them didn't speak. There was a trace of helplessness and displeasure between her eyebrows. It was obvious that her patience had reached the limit. Long Qingxia stands lazily not far away, sometimes observing Warcraft, sometimes focusing on the one person and one beast who has some difficulty in communication, with a helpless smile on his lips. Wow! The little guy stopped half a meter away from the stone wall. Then he looked at the clouds and cried, and never left. Yunwu looks at the stone ground in front of the little thing and frowns slightly. Do you want to bring her here? It doesn't look unusual either. Wow. The little guy watched the cloud dance and howled again. Cloud Dance slightly frowned, squatted down to inquire about the stone ground. Suddenly, she found that there was a crack in the stone slab which had no crack. If it wasn't for the little guy who brought her here, who could find this crack as thin as hair? Cloud Dance looked at the little guy. Is there anything strange down here? The little guy also looked at the Cloud Dance, and round Gula's body was anxiously spinning around in place, as if hoping that the Cloud Dance would quickly uncover the stone slab. The Yuan Dan of Warcraft is gone. Long Qingxia looks at the stone slab under the Cloud Dance, revealing a smile of unknown meaning. Yunwu looks back at Warcraft. If not, there is only a ferocious and callous hole left in Yuan Dan. The willow eyebrows pick slightly. The next second, a strange haze is lifted in the palm of the hand, lifting the slate void. Suddenly, a bright light reflected through the slate. It's the Yuan Dan of Warcraft. Cloud Dance looks at Yuan Dan that is protected by spirit power cover. Star Maui Fundus frightens to pass by. The reason why the Warcraft will not wake up is because there is no Yuan Dan, and the beast door to exchange blood for it is also because it does not have Yuan Dan. Why is Yuan Dan here? Cloud Dance picked up Yuan Dan, looked back at the Dragon Qing, evil one eye, then looked to the side, happy dancing little guy. What do you want me to do with this? Little guy stopped swinging body, some tangled watching Cloud Dance, sometimes shaking his head, sometimes sighing just like a child. Oh, Cloud Dance said with a smile, I well. A cold, tactile object slid down her throat into her heart. There was nothing in her open hand. What do you want to do? The Cloud Dances and the willow eyebrows are horizontal, and the chill of the eye bottom rises. At that moment, Long Qingxia saw that the little guy broke the spirit mask. Just as his figure trembled, he watched Yuan enter Yunwu's mouth with his own eyes. At that moment, he didn't have time to stop it. Looking at the dancing, happy to no good little guy, Yunwu wants to be angry, but not angry. Not angry, his heart is full of worry. It's no joke to swallow Yuan Dan of the Millennium Warcraft. Besides, there are too many unknown forces in her body. If there is rejection in her body, the consequences will be I feel powerless from head to toe when I think about it. Suddenly, a few clear footsteps came from outside the stone gate. The Cloud Dancing Dragon looks at each other and takes the little guy on the ground into the space. In the same second, the stone gate is opened. Huang Qifeng looked at the Cloud Dance and Dragon, poor evil, eyes flat, visited so long. Also can close your eyes? It's okay to close your eyes, but do you need to change places? Cloud Dance picks eyebrows to see the Warcraft on the ground and asks kindly. Huang Qifeng looks at the motionless Warcraft on the ground. A trace of complexity passes through his plain eyes, and then he turns and leaves the stone gate. I'll meet him first for my husband. Long Qingxia walks in front of Cloud Dance, and his low voice is rarely serious. The Cloud Dance star's eyes skimmed a trace of strange, slightly nodded. She felt the Yuan Dan in her body seemed to be sending out strength. Just at the beginning, let her feel unbearable pain. Long Qingxia knows that she needs time. Yunwu also knows that if something doesn't happen at the critical moment of life and death, how can it be magnificent? Well, Yunwu bent down in pain, then curled up on the ground in pain. Dragon Qingxia's eyes were slightly heavy, and he said something in Cloud Dance's ear. The wind element lifted up and wrapped Cloud Dance in an instant. Little thing, if you don't want to be in the limelight for your husband, come quickly. In an instant, the two white shadows touched each other. Yunwu only heard a concussive roar, and then felt his head buzzing, and he couldn't hear anything. Pain Cloud Dance curled up in the wind element, standing next to the little guy. The little guy looked at the Cloud Dance's painful appearance, glanced at his mouth, and seemed very anxious. She could clearly feel the cackle of the impact of the force on her bones, as if every bone had cracked. The whole body up and down, bone broken, pain to numbness, even convulsion also did not have what action. Sweat almost swallowed her, that cold face almost can see the bone, It seems that there is no trace of blood in the body. Is that how it goes? Cloud head buzzing. The outside world cannot hear anything. All the senses seem to experience the pain of life is not like death. All of a sudden, Cloud dance around the body sent out a bright light. The light is in those broken bones and the breathing out. With the overflow of those light, Cloud dance skin began to molt. A layer of skin, as if the water had been sucked up half, all fell off one by one. The little guy who has been anxiously walking back and forth stops when he sees the scene in front of him. A pair of round eyes are full of happy light. The next second, the round body actually grew a pair of wings. The little guy jumped and danced happily, flapping his wings and hovering over Yunwoo's head. Wow! The little guy let out a cry of excitement. Then a bright spiritual power spread out on its wings. Instead of spreading around, it fell down on the broken bones of Yunwoo, blending with the light from her bones. At this time, Yunwoo woke up again in the pain. Her frown deepened when she saw the little creature hovering over her. Isn't that little guy Warcraft? Why did he grow wings? The little guy woke up when he saw Yunwoo. He opened his mouth and showed his two delicate tusks. Then he closed his eyes. Wow! With a howl, the spirit power of the little guy disappeared instantly, and the little thing fell to the ground with a bang. Cloud danced in the heart of a tight fight to turn over a body, want to see the little guy howl, but happened to let her laugh and cry scene. As soon as she turned over, she pressed the little guy under her body. The little guy's body was flat. Only one head was exposed outside, but she wanted to move, but she couldn't move any more suddenly. Yunwoo saw the two intertwined figures outside the wind element flash by. Although she only caught a moment, she clearly saw the blood on Long Qingxie's white robe. He was seriously injured. Cloud danced hard and tight, tried to use strength, but led to the body more tearing pain, sweat suddenly like rain. Hang Mao to see. The body all around already shed to open a layer of dry split skin. The appearance is extremely disgusting. She can feel the Warcraft Yuan Dan constantly tossing in her body, tossing her bone meridians all broken, in addition to consciousness, just like a living dead man. Bang! A loud vibration came out of the water element. Cloud dance raises an eye to see. In water element, Minnie gave a fewing hong. And outside the water element space, the white figure slowly fell down. Although he was strong, she could feel that he was exhausted. Cloud dance forces strength, but in exchange for the pain of bone erosion. Although she couldn't move, the pain didn't decrease at all. She looked at the dragon outside the water element. Her eyes were scarlet, and countless blood threads were carried out in her eyes. The blood-red eyes in that pale face appears extremely abrupt ferocious. Do you want to toss? If you have the ability, toss me to death. Roaring down, she once again aroused the power of anger in her heart. The pain of cutting the knife into the bone almost made her faint again. Her scarlet eyes were eager to spill blood, and the corners of her mouth kept twitching, but she was still stubborn. Water element space. Boy, get out of there and save your life. Although Huang Qifeng is talking to the dragon, his eyes have been staring at the cloud dance in the element of wind. The calm eyes look at the changes around the cloud dance, and they're a little flustered. My woman is behind me. Do you want me to get out of the way? Dragon Qing, evil mouth constantly gushing blood, but still with the evil spirit of blood. Thirsty smile, golden eyes looking at Huang Qifeng, evil and cold. No way, only death. To put it simply, it's just a life, but I'm afraid you can't take it away with you. Suddenly, relying on the strength of the sword in his hand, he stood up. Although his figure was a little shaky, he was still proud, upright, and calm. It was a figure that people could trust and let the woman behind him rely on. Although the figure was extremely embarrassed at the moment, the evil and arrogant light that belonged to him did not diminish. Huang Qifeng looked at the dragon standing up and said, "Look for death." A strange breath came in the air. Long Qingxie can hide, but behind him is his woman. He can't. The dark haze is lifted up in an instant, and a trace of evil light emerges in the scarlet smile eyes. The endless haze is like a bottomless hole, swallowing the breath in an instant. Countless black blades fight back in an instant. Huang Qifeng waved his hand across the air. He thought he could resist the attack of the black blade, but he didn't stop the speed of the black blade. Pong! The sound of white armor breaking. Along with the traces of white armor cracking, a touch of bright red liquid spilled out, flowing more and more ferocious. Huang Qifeng looks at the broken armor with dark eyes. He can hurt him. His armor was not stained with any blood when he exterminated the wizard clan of Guangming family. Now he broke it. The strength of the blow just now has definitely exceeded his own strength. Who on earth are you? Huang Qifeng stares at Long Qingxie, and his eyes just show a sense of obliteration. He smelled a familiar feeling in his strength just now. What was that feeling? Huang Qifeng frowned slightly, thinking, "Her man, that's all." In the dark haze, the smile is like mandala blooming in the night. "No, you are a member of the evil family." Huang Qifeng looked at the dragon's evil eyes and was surprised. He is a member of the evil family. There are still living people in the evil family. The dragon tilts evil to cover an eye ground of a silk abnormality, then bloodthirsty smile. Is again how? Are you the young master of the evil clan that the five-star society has been pursuing? The only evil people who can get freedom alive is the one who escaped by chance. You know a lot, it seems. The sword of Dragon Qingxie is in hand. The smile in the corner of the mouth is more and more dangerous, and a touch of Su Sha appears at the bottom of the eye. Seems to be telling him that he should die. A witch Hui, a descendant of an evil family, seems to be really lucky today. Huang Qifeng's plain eyes pass by a trace of abnormality, and a smile appears in the corner of his mouth, but it makes people feel a little bitter. He knew very well in his heart that if they were the descendants of the evil clan and the witch clan, with their current strength, he would not be an opponent at all. The ape swings in the air. With infinite dark breath, two figures entangle together again. Water element space. After a period of silence, the figure lying on the ground in a mess finally had a trace of movement. Her body is surrounded by her skin, but her own skin is as smooth as a newborn baby, revealing a touch of holy smoothness. At the moment when she opened her eyes, the amazing light flashed away. It was a pair of purple eyes, which were darker than before. She stood up, 3,000 green silk swaying against the wind elements. The pale to bloodless face, at this time showed a color like frost. And the breath around her was the combination of light and darkness. White light with dark breath constantly moving around her, as if death came. The suffocation feeling of oppressing death became more and more obvious. Bang! The water element is broken by a strong force. Long Qingxie's golden eyes narrowed slightly, and a smile rose from the corner of his mouth. Is it okay at last? The next second, his body was pulled back by a strange force and landed on the stone wall. Cloud Dance looked at the dragon's blood-filled shabby white robe, and that pale face, the killing breath on his body was more dignified. You rest. I'll take it. Dragon Qingxie looks at the breath on Cloud Dance body. Gold Mao, tiny Zheng a moment. The power of this little thing is getting deeper and deeper. Cloud Dance cold eyes swept to Huang Qifeng, word by word. Did you hurt him with my consent? How can you have such a strange dark power? Huang Qifeng looked at the Cloud Dance like death, and his calm eyes were shocked. He didn't realize it. At the moment, he was surprised and stuttered. Uncle, I've wanted to kill you for a long time. The cold voice is like the ice of 1,000 years, but with a strange smile, it is even more spooky. No! Huang Qifeng's pupils widened, and his voice began to shout in horror. Unfortunately, the voice just started in an instant. The whole underground was covered by the dark atmosphere, and the white armor was finally engulfed in the dark atmosphere and turned into ashes. The whole underground floor, instant miasma. Although the power is not enough to destroy the underground refining stone, it is enough to reach the first level. The top floor of the secret base. Lord, there's a big noise at the bottom. Send someone over at once. We can't let go of any of them. Xingguanli gave a low roar. He clearly felt the power of the loud noise just now. If it wasn't blocked by the refining stone, it would be enough to destroy the whole secret base. He had a premonition that it was absolutely inseparable from the witch saint. Actually let her sneak into the lowest level, but there are countless levels from the lowest level. Each level is guarded, so that she can get in. Waste. It's not your trash, it's you. The voice of indifference and coldness rang from behind Xingguanli. Xingguanli suddenly turned back, looking at the cloud dance. The eyes were cold, but the fundus of his eyes was a little surprised. Unexpectedly, she came up so soon. Did she solve all the people at the checkpoint? Suzerain, all the people guarding the underground gate died in the passage. A flustered figure ran in. After seeing the cloud dance, he was shocked and couldn't say anything more. People, big or small, all know cloud dance after this period of time. Xingguanli smell speech, look instant fierce, looking directly at the cloud dance. Kill meaning rubran, you killed them. Cloud dance mouth, slightly young, pull open a touch of irony smile. And me. Magnetic low voice came in. No one heard it first. Xingguanli looks at the dragon, and his eyes are burning with anger. Only 2 people turned the base upside down. The base was guarded by the elites of the Beast Gate. How could they kill them? What is the strength of these 2 people? What about Huang Qifeng? You killed him too? Xingguanli's thick eyebrows were picked, and a strange smile suddenly appeared at the corner of his mouth. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to emerge to put on a cold smile. Killed. Ha ha ha. Xingguanli looks up at the sky and smiles ironically. Do you know who he is? You may not know what I know. Cloud dance sneers and takes a look at the dragon nearby. A trace of warmth appears in the cold light at the bottom of the eye. Xingguanli's calm eyes swept a strange color. He is your uncle. You also kill him? He looked at Yunwu and seemed to be waiting for Yunwu's expression of surprise and repentance. But what he was waiting for was Yunwu's cold smile. You know, Xingguan Calendar Mao color is surprised. They have already met? That's why you don't know what I know. Cloud dance cold all around kill idea to wind up just a nominal uncle. Do you know that? Xingguanli's calm eyes were slightly surprised, but changed several colors, and a touch of scarlet and angry blood loomed. Huang Qifeng, you lied to me. Cloud danced with a sneer and looked at Xingguanli sarcastically. I didn't expect that the deputy leader of the Beast Gate had been played as a monkey for more than 10 years. It's sad. Xingguanli smells speech, face brush a dark. He's dead, and you'll pay what you owe me. Cloud dance Mao color a cold. This words listen how a little familiar? All around, the breath of darkness and light converged, and the 2 sharp edges constantly hung around the clouds, extremely fierce. Don't associate me with him. Bang! The whole secret base was submerged in the roar of power. This blow was enough to shock the whole secret base. Everyone in the secret base knew that something big had happened, and they all heard of it, including a man in a silver robe. Yunwu looks at the people gathered around, and everyone's eyes are on her. Cloud dance? Some greedy, some surprise, some disdain, but to be sure, they all know her. Cloud dance indifferently swept all around One Eye, lifted Mao to see One Eye Dragon to pour evil. Lip cape tiny hook, they have words on the face. Dragon Qing, evil, slightly pale mouth wantonly hook up. Agreed to nod. Seems to be written to seek death, 2 words. Hearing the words, people's faces changed. In a moment, Yunwu felt that the killing intention around her was like a blade. If the killing intention could kill people, it was estimated that she would not live this time. The cloud dances to smile of glance a dragon to pour evil. Those who know her are the opposite. All of a sudden, the smile on the corner of her mouth condenses, and the tenderness in her purple eyes is replaced by indifference. The bloodthirsty glances at the people. When the people's eyes still stay on the smile on the corner of her mouth, it turns black. Ah! The continuous scream went up and down again. After the darkness dispersed, the people were already curled up in pain on the ground, with wounds on their bodies, big and small, and blood on the ground, which was extremely ferocious. Xingguanli looks at this shape, and his eyes are dark. The lowest martial arts skills of those people are also above Wu Zun. So many people are more than enough to deal with her, but the speed at that moment was so fast that he could not make a move. What a weird speed. Xingguanli looks at Yunwu with dark eyes. He knows that if she continues to stay in Yunwu, she will be the biggest obstacle on the way of Wanwoman. If this person doesn't get rid of now, she will get rid of him in the future. Cloud Dance looked at Xingguanli's killing intention in her eyes. Her purple eyes drooped slightly, and her lips sneered. Not yet. Are you really going to let us fight? At the end of the speech, the man who was wearing a silver robe and a hat just had a slight stiffness on his back. Then he pulled off the hat and raised an uninhibited smile. Xiao Wu, you are so heartless. Cloud Dance coldly glanced at Xingguanli and said indifferently, it's time for you father and son to have a good talk. If we have a good talk, maybe we won't have to be so violent. Everyone, after killing people, how dare you talk about not being so violent? Why isn't this woman shameless? However, she just said father and son. Is that a young master the dragon tilts evil half to hang Mao's son? The eye bottom passes a silk helpless. This small thing, really enough irritating. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.